misconceptions. We've got truth in our possession. No room for doubt, no time to waste. It's time to put flat Earth in its place.
Welcome everybody to the Nutcase Chronicles. Tonight, I will be reviewing some nutcases. Specifically, 3 nutcases. 2 of them think the Earth is flat and 1 doesn't, but the one that doesn't is still a nutcase. The 2 that think the Earth is flat are Flat Earth Dave, otherwise known as DIRTh, for Deep Inside the Rabbit's Hole, and Eddie Bravo, who for a career has subjected his brain to being beat around by other people. So anyway, that's who we will be reviewing, is a debate between them. Did I mention who the third person is yet? It's in the video thumbnail. It's Alex Jones. He's a nutcase. I have no kind words for him either. But in this instance, you're going to be torn. You are. You're going to say, well, who do I cheer for? You focus on the topic, all right? The topic at hand is the topic at hand. So that is who you cheer for. The one who's got on the right side of that topic. To be honest, every single person you know is on a different side of at least one topic from you, right? Doesn't matter how close you are to them. So, I mean, Alex is on the other side of a lot. So, anyway, and there's a special feature. I will be presenting the special feature after a while, after we've seen enough that we want to have a little break. The entire thing is 52 minutes long. I'm starting 3 minutes 20 seconds into it, so I expect we will be able to get through it tonight. Thank you very much for coming along. If you have things that you'd like to say to me, feel free to tag me, or you can do a super chat, and I will be certain to read that. Man of War is a member at Einstein. Thank you. And Melodic Lyrics says, "Thank Titicaca, it's Thursday." Well, thank you for that, Melodic Lyrics. So, all right. Here is. We're going to get into it now. So there's a preview thing, and then we're up to the introductions here. So let's see, make sure it's, I'll adjust the audio as needed.
No, Eddie wants to tell you the big secret: the world's flat. And he's got
Flat Earth Dave.
He's got Flat Earth Dave, folks, one of the biggest flat earthers here with us, Dave Weiss, flatearthdave.com. So fine, just tell the big secret. It's all flat. They really beat him.
Well, the thing is, when you look for Flat Earth, it's like looking for truth. You're not going to find it on Google. You're not going to find anything.
I think challenging the system's good, but just humor me. Give me your take on Trump, your take on Russia before we go into the worst flat.
I don't really.
All right, so I'm going to try to focus on the topic at hand. So, let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. Anyway, all right. I'm going to jump a little bit ahead because we don't want to get into that stuff. So
It's a complete and total mess, and
I think when you're being lied to, that's a reasonable response.
We are being lied to, for sure. We're being lied to about everything, and NASA, is what tells us that the Earth is a globe. You're showing CGI pictures.
No, it's not. He's lied already. The knowledge of the history of the Earth being a globe is 2,500 years old, and NASA's not even 100 years old. So, Dave, you're lying already.
The globalists lie about the globe.
Well, I've got a big telescope I've had since high school, and some others, and I can look and I can watch Jupiter turn. Right. I'll drink a 6-pack of beer. I can watch the sun with a green lens. I'm looking at it through a lens. It's not a CGI. It's the sun.
Are you looking at Earth?
Can you pull up Jupiter?
Are you looking at Earth?
No, but the issue is, as above, so below. Here's the deal: the universe is forming. It's explosive. It's heating. Everything goes into a globe, just like metal sprayed into the wind that's molten goes into little spheres. So all I look at is I'm seeing spheres out there.
Right.
And so are you saying Jupiter and Saturn are not round?
I'm saying that they appear to be round. If you could, anything in the distance will look like a sphere. I have a video.
No, it doesn't. Look like a sphere. Look, if something's far enough away and is bright, it'll look like a point source, but that's not like a sphere. You don't know that it's a sphere by looking at it just because it's a light source. You'd have to have other information about it. And Dave Weiss is right. He's a simpleton. Well, let me preface this. I want to be fair because some people have told me. Jaron has told me, and some Globers have told me, some normal people have told me that don't assume that they're stupid. Okay, so I will do that for DIRTh here. I will not assume that he's stupid. I will assume that if he's saying something that's not true, it's not that he's stupid, it's that he's lying. Fair, right? That's what people have asked me to do. Don't assume they're stupid. Okay, I will assume that they fully understand everything that they're talking about. They comprehend the topic completely, and that because they understand it and they say something else, that they are intentionally lying. That's the other option I see. I what else is there? So anyway, that's so if you hear me say that, then that if I make that accusation of one way or the other, just take and put in that if I say they're stupid, I also mean they could be lying. And if I say they're lying, it also means that they could be stupid, one or the other. Okay, just to be fair. I want to be fair. So
Video of a train in the distance, and it looks like the sun, it looks like the moon, but when it comes to you, you see that it's square.
How are they rotating then? How do I look at them, myself time lapse, and they're orbiting and they're an orb?
Hey, we're looking at the lights in the ceiling does not.
So, yeah, their excuses are coming up from DIRTh. But yeah, you can look at Jupiter and you can definitely see it's rotating. The same for the sun. If you use a filter for your camera, you can see the sunspots. You can see that it's rotating. So, what does that mean? DIRTh is about to say, well, just because that is a sphere doesn't mean the thing we're on is a sphere. True, it doesn't. But there are laws of nature that are at play that causes Jupiter and the sun to be a sphere. The same laws of nature that apply where we are. So if you're going to say that that's a sphere, that's a sphere, that's a sphere, but we are not, then you're going to need to provide evidence for that. Something very strong, something more compelling than the other, that the laws of physics for Jupiter applies to us, right?
Not dictate the shape of the floor. No one has ever seen a star anything other than a point of light in the sky. I had access to a major telescope in college for 4 years, looked at all the things. If you look at Jupiter and Saturn, it's a light.
Now, Jupiter and Saturn are absolutely, definitely rotating. Anybody that denies that is simply just lying or stupid. Or lying or stupid, whatever. To be fair, it could be either. It could be lying or it could be stupid.
Small, it's close. We don't know.
So you agree with Sheila Jackson Lee that the moon is a translucent plate?
No, I don't know what the moon is. I know that it's not what they tell us. But
no, you don't. You know nothing. You're ignorant.
All right, well, moon. I mean, okay, we'll get to that. Can you give me your take on Trump and nuclear war? Let me ask.
Hold on.
Nuclear weapons don't exist.
Did we land on the moon? Yes or no? That's a no.
I mean,
that's a no.
I think
that's
we're
a no.
showing some fake stuff.
Come on, man. You think we landed on the moon? For real? Be honest.
Wow, Alex is not answering this. What does that mean? Wow. Is he torn? right? Because he hates everything government, right? He wants to think everything from the government is a lie, and the government is who went to, the moon. So what's he say? He's pondering what he's going to say, doesn't he? He's conflicted.
You think we landed on a motherfucker?
So you think Starlink's fake?
What's that?
See, Alex diverted there, right? I don't know what Alex thinks about it. Interesting.
I can prove it's fake.
No, you can't.
So how does my cell phone talk to people in China?
It does work. I'll tell you exactly how it works.
All right. Oh my gosh, Alex, your cell phone works to talk to people in China because of landlines. It's not satellites unless you have a satellite phone. So, and this is a common mistake that people make, right? Most internet data and most communications that are non-internet based, but now a lot of that is, are terrestrial. They're through lines on the Earth. But Starlink does exist, so it's different from the phones, though there are phones that are going to be working more with Starlink. But Starlink exists. If you're in the middle of nowhere and you point your Starlink antenna up, you get a signal. When you're far away from anything that could possibly be a cell phone tower or anything like that, that's giving you a signal. So let's hear what the lie that DIRTh is about to tell about satellites, about Starlink.
Cell towers are all over the Earth, and the higher they are, the bigger of a radius they have, and we go from tower to tower to tower, and that's how the technology works. If we had towers that were a mile tall, they'd have a much bigger radius, right? So when you have a satellite phone that is in an area where there's no cell towers, what's it connecting to? Is it connecting to a little satellite that's flying 200 feet, 300, 400 miles above us through space? Where's it getting its power from? How is it staying? How is it following the Earth as it's corkscrewing through space?
Oh my gosh. He's stupid or lying about this. Stupid or lying. He has no concept of relative motion, right? The satellite began on the surface of the Earth, and then it launched and began orbiting the Earth. So it's not like, what kind of simpletons? Seriously, think that the Earth is here and a satellite would begin orbiting it, but then the Earth would just pull away from it. Why would you think that? It's the same thing. Do you think that if you're on an airplane, if you jump, you'll fly to the back of the plane? No. Same thing, satellite orbiting the Earth. Lying or stupid?
What it's connecting to is airplanes. Airplanes have the power source. They have the
That's just a blatant lie. He's such a liar.
equipment. I have Wi-Fi in the airport. I was uploading videos on my flight to Austin, right? It connects to an airplane. It either connects to another airplane or down to a tower, and now you're connected. You use the
Why just make up that stuff? He knows nothing about this. He's just inventing this because he has to.
all the understanding.
So you don't
And
believe
satellites are on
And I
balloon.
can prove that Starlink.
they have blimps too. No, we're not denying that's there. You're saying there's no satellites.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
They're on
There's
balloons.
stuff in the sky. They're on balloons. But have you seen the Starlinks go across the sky? I have. The trail of them, right? So when you look at a 747 up at cruising altitude, 5 miles, can you see the engine? You can't. It's very small, right? You can fit 30 Starlink satellites inside that engine. So that's how small a Starlink is. If you doubled the height of that airplane to 10 miles, you wouldn't even be able to see the airplane.
No, the reason you're seeing them is they're
Oh my gosh, he's lying or stupid. He's so lying or stupid. So what DIRTh has just attempted to claim there is he said if you double the distance of the airplane from you to 10 miles that you won't see it at all. Why would you not see it at all? You would still see it if you had the right optics, right? But Starlink satellites reflect light, and you see them at night. So that line of Starlinks that went through the sky, they are reflecting light. It doesn't matter how big they are. They are a point source of light. And DIRTh is either too lying or stupid to understand that. Right? He doesn't understand that when something is smaller than the angular resolution, that you still see it, you just can't differentiate details of it. Right? Oh yes, this is a good one here. From Unflat Earth says Dave made a video claiming his NASA insider told him the ISS is 5 planes that swap out with lights on. So much derp. Yeah, he is incredibly lying about that. That there is no NASA insider that told him that. Just blatant lies. Unless that NASA insider was just playing him and he totally bought it because he's lying or stupid. Right? Could be. DIRTh is super gullible, incredibly gullible. He believes everything that supports flat Earth that anybody ever tells him. He'll just gobble it up. He pays no attention to it. Okay. Are you getting heated about DIRTh yet?
Above the horizon of the Earth with lights on them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So a tiny mirror would look big.
No, it doesn't matter because the angular size is too small. Those Starlink satellites are 350 miles away. You think you could see a school desk at 350 miles?
All right.
If it's bright, yes, absolutely, 100%. Laws of optics do say that you can, DIRTh.
We will cover this, but you guys, before you came on, I said,
Oh, you got him.
give me, you don't have me. I know. I'm just totally focused on Trump being indicted, convicted, and World War III. But let me guess, there's no nuclear weapons, right, Eddie?
Absolutely not.
100%.
These two idiots that don't know anything about nuclear physics are declaring that they know more about nuclear physics than nuclear physicists. The incredibly misplaced hubris of these two morons. Burnham says, when you're deep inside the rabbit's hole, you can only measure in Bonacci's undulating sheep units. Oh my gosh. That's funny. That's awesome.
No, I've heard this before. I've been around a while.
Well,
so there's no nuclear weapons. So
it's meant for fear. It's meant for control. This is all.
So there's
about control.
What real technology is there?
Oh, there's There's big bombs. They stack TNT at ground zero in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There's video of troops stacking TNT at ground zero.
Wow, the U.S. had invaded Japan and did that. Wow.
War is a theater. That's why they call it the theater of war.
He's such an... Oh my gosh. Why would you say such a stupid thing? Why would you be so stupid? Why? That is completely ridiculous.
They're all working together. There may be some rogue states and some stuff going on, but all of this is combined.
Well, I get challenging and questioning everything.
Sure.
But, so the Trump indictment's fake too?
I don't know. I think they're really going after him. I think if Trump gets in office, that their plans might.
But everything else is fake. Everything's a theater. How can it be Trump's?
No.
My answer was I don't know.
Nothing, Alex. Come on.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, no. There's no nuclear weapons. There's no satellites.
I love how you're playing devil's advocate to make sure.
This is such a mess. Oh my gosh. Icy Spin says, notice Bravo's condescending tone about the moon. Bravo is condescending a lot. For a guy that's not too bright, he sure is.
That you're not labeled as a flat earther. I don't give a shit how I'm labeled. I'm sitting here, and
I look at globes, orbs, in my own telescope. You guys
look at Earth.
I'm on Earth. It's kind of hard to look.
The fact that it's a debate.
Kind of hard to look at my own ass.
The fact. Shouldn't there be hundreds of motherfucking thousands of photos of Earth from space?
There are. Oh, thank you for bringing that up there, Dingleberry. Dingleflurf. That's a new term there, Dingleflurf. So you just go ASU, March to the Moon. There you go. Just Google that. There you go. There you go. Well, let's have a look here. Image galleries. And Apollo. Let's go Apollo 8. Right? Let's see if we can find any photos of the Earth from space from Apollo 8. All right. Loading a little slow. Come on. Is it time for Dark Tune yet? I don't know. Dark Tune. All right. So here's Apollo 8. And is this, let's see. Yeah, you can see the bottom. I think there's a picture of the moon here. Let's see. Wow, why is it so slow? Maybe this isn't cached. It's a lot of data. So I'm wondering how they store this data on ASU's servers. So all right, come on. Chop chop. Choppity chop. I don't know. Well, while that's loading, let me maybe it's time. You guys want to see the special feature? I sent it to FTFE. He's like, I can't stop watching it. He said he watched it 10 times in a row. 10 times in a row. And I'm like, really? And then I did too. I did too. All right. All right. Here it's coming up here. I'll do this first. So, if you haven't yet, there's a link that I pinned right here. Link that I pinned to Eric Burns' channel. Eric Burns is he said he's going to become a high school astronomy teacher. So that's cool. When do you start that, Eric? Is that coming up in the fall? That'd be pretty cool. All right. There we go. There should be thousands of pictures of the Earth from space. Yes, there should be. It's almost like there are. Like here's one right here. Here's one right here. A funny thing, there are thousands of pictures. So here's the dishonesty from Eddie Bravo. He knows that there are thousands of pictures of the Earth from space, but he blind faith rejects them all. He has no reason to reject them. He just says they have to be fake because they have to be fake for his belief. So anyway, yeah. Let's play a little more. It's not time for the special feature yet. You need to get a little more heated about DIRTh's lies.
Yeah. No, but for me, it's like the Jew obsession. All the Jew bastards do is say, Jew.
I didn't say nothing about no Jew.
I know. I'm saying it with the flat earthers. I said, can you even talk about Trump and the conviction?
I talk about Trump all the time.
No,
I talk about Trump all the time.
I know, but not on my show, because it's all, we're going to blow them away and expose the flat earth.
No, it's not that. I love how you're setting it up.
I'm asking for 5.
You're staying safe.
No, I'm not staying. They'll get me.
Haven't you talked about Trump for the last 8 hours?
The system would love it. Yeah, but the system would love it.
More Trump? Okay, Trump.
Hey, wait.
5 minutes of Trump. Just skip through that.
Oh my God!
Just finish. Let me finish.
Trump
the point
real?
that you made. You said you brought up nuclear bombs, right? If anyone wants to prove that nuclear bombs aren't real, there's crow777radio.com. Check out their no nuke section.
Crow777, who doesn't have the correct background to figure these things out either.
Session. You watch that, you'll know it. But here's the thing.
Well, my family's dead now. That was in New Mexico.
People die all the time.
When they had the Geiger counters. They watched it explode.
There is big explosions. There is radiation, but there's not.
Okay, Alex, tell me. Can you tell the difference between a nuclear missile and a conventional missile? Can you?
By the detonation, yes.
Oh, how?
Because if you only got 1,000 pounds of plastic explosive, it doesn't blow up a whole city.
So you can look at an explosion and go, oh, that's nuclear and that's not nuclear?
Absolutely.
Alex,
You're the only one.
After
How
Hiroshima and
did you become such an
Nagasaki,
expert?
3 days later, the trains were running, the sandwich shops were open, the
Let
flower
me ask you
shops
guys,
were open,
how is AI working? How is it 1 trillion times faster than it was 10 years ago? Is that...
All right. I'm jumping ahead a little. We don't want to... They go off a little bit. I got it transcribed, so... yeah, Crow777 is not that bright, but when the people watching Crow777's videos are significantly more not bright, well then he's like the tallest midget. So
topic we're going to cover. Give me the flat Earth hypothesis.
That the Earth is a level, non-rotating plane. All measurements of Earth measure a level, non-rotating plane.
You know what they never show is our measurements. This is another one of the. It's another one of these the mythos of flat Earth, right? The mythos is that they say you can bring a boat back after it's gone over the curve. Okay, give me the video. None. They never have one. They say all measurements show that the Earth is flat. Okay, let's have a measurement. They never show up with a measurement. They're like, oh well, we saw this thing. It was too far. That's not a measurement. Measurements have numbers. There's numbers in measurements, right? If you wanted to measure to see a measurement of the flatness of Earth would be, okay, well, we established this line that's straight for a certain distance. And then we compared that line, however they determined it, to the surface of the Earth at different portions, at different points along that line to see if it deviated from that or if it stayed consistent with that. That's a measurement. They haven't done that. Nobody's ever done that. So, all right. Okay.
All measurements of the globe are assumed. None of them are
There's another lie. The Earth, man, you just can't not lie, can you?
real. The radius was falsified, and if you falsify the radius, everything else falls apart.
It wasn't falsified. What was falsified was flat earthers' ability to do science.
Right? You can't have a spinning sphere with high pressure air adjacent to a void of no pressure without a container.
Oh my gosh. This is, you know, DIRTh gets by with this stuff because he refuses to debate people that know the topic. Right? So he lives in this, it's not an echo chamber, but he lives in an environment where he has carefully selected the people that he's talking to so that they won't know to say, you just strawmanned the globe. We don't claim that there is an area of zero pressure. All we claim is that we do claim there is positive pressure everywhere and that there is a variation in the pressure from here to elsewhere. That's all we claim. And that is what is measured in reality. So that's it. It's just a straw man. And so if Alex Jones knew his stuff, he would say, that's not what we claim there, buddy.
And people say, well, gravity is holding the air down. We can prove that that's not the case. You know that gas violently fills the available space, Alex, right? If I had a box that had no air in it and I opened it up, it's violently going to fill with air.
Not violently, quickly. And what do you mean violently? It dissipates, it distributes, but it doesn't distribute. He's going to say equally. It does not distribute equally in a container or outside of a container. The air is not evenly distributed. There is more of it low than there is up high. Why is that? You need to explain that.
Right? And if I was in a room, if I had a box with air in it, and it was in a room with no air, and I opened it up on the top, the bottom, it's going to violently fill the air. It's going to fill. But in space, somehow after a big bang that a Jesuit priest made up.
You know what that is? That's the poisoning the well fallacy there. Why did he do that? Well, because he's not being challenged by somebody that knows what to do, right? And he knows the audience here being people that probably have an inclination to think that Jesuit priests somehow have nefarious purposes behind everything they do.
All of the things just start accumulating. Gas starts collapsing upon itself. How much gas do you need before it collapses?
Well, it's centrifugal force. If you spin like a glass of wine,
Oh, see, he's getting it wrong here, Alex. Alex, come on.
you can turn the wine glass upside down, it doesn't come out.
Right, that's centrifugal force, but we're not talking about it. How much? So gas will fill the available space and equalize. That's what wind is. It's air just trying to equalize. How much gas do you need before it collapses and turns into a star?
So I'm looking at planets orbiting, and but they're around.
We're talking about
So if DIRTh were curious, he could answer that question. There is a minimum amount of matter necessary to form a star. That's known. He could just do the research, but he doesn't do what he says to do. He doesn't do his own research.
We're talking about,
But then here we're different. So what are we? So we go over Antarctica, we're suddenly, what's out there? A whole nother.
We don't know what's out there. And that, you know what's funny? There's two things that all of the countries that are at war agree upon. They agree upon you cannot explore Antarctica independently.
They all agree upon you can explore Antarctica independently. He's just lying again.
Or the North Pole, and
and why? Why the North Pole? Why make such a ridiculously wrong claim? It's just a lie. You can go to the North Pole. What's stopping anybody from going to the North Pole? Where did this invented BS come from?
they agree that everyone has to get the jab.
And you know that's true because you wanted to explore Antarctica with me, and you found out.
I said if you're ready to go,
and your crew found out you can't go.
Yeah.
Well, they take it like one spot.
Yeah.
They take it to one spot.
They found out that it's difficult to go. Yes. And if you want to have somebody else do the management for you, you need to do what they do. If they have a base somewhere, you do what they do. But if you want to be the one that goes and sets up your own base or does your own exploration it's all on you, 100% on you. Things aren't cheap. So it's on you. You can do it though.
But,
you're in the South Pole.
And they lock you in your tent from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. You have to pee in a cup. You're not even allowed to go outside your tent.
There's a lie again. And I know where he got that lie. He got that lie from ALE, the Antarctica Logistics. I don't know what it stands for exactly. The one that Will Duffy has communicated with. There's a brochure, and on the brochure, it talks about all. You can go pull the brochure yourself and read it yourself. It talks about the bathrooms they have, the showers they have, the places that the cook tent, right, the mess hall. The tents that you sleep in at night. It talks about the base and where it's at, and the perimeter of the base where they have they're certain that there are no crevasses for you to fall down and die in. And they say, well, don't go outside of these areas because we don't know. If you just go wander off, everything's snow and ice, so we can't see you. And if you fall down a hole, we definitely can't see you. So. And then it has quiet hours. So the sun never goes down. And so they need to do something to say, well, look, people need to sleep. So we're going to sleep from a certain time to a certain time. And please don't be noisy during that time. And you can go to the bath. This is what I get from the brochure. It says that you can go to the bathroom in the middle of the night if you want. But a lot of people don't want to get up, put on all their cold weather gear and walk to the bathroom tent and then walk back. So they say, get yourself a pee bottle and use that. And then in the morning, give it to Dave Murphy so he can have his morning beverage. So.
Because of the seals.
They're
penguins. The penguins.
They
we
don't
want
want you to see that in December and January when there should be a 24-hour sun, that the sun does set. Because if the sun sets...
So they don't lock you in the tent.
In Antarctica in December and January, then the Earth is not a globe. There are many, many tests that we can do that absolutely...
Well, I've been in North...
Then why wouldn't you go, Dave? In case you're wondering, this was recorded after Dave was offered a free trip to go to Antarctica to test it himself. And the little grifting guy said no. Why is it that he said no? Was it about the thrift? Is that why? Well, no, because he was going to get it paid for. No, he's staying home. He's got to protect his grift. Right?
Northern Europe and seeing the sun not set.
Well, that's there is.
And there you go. Alex screwed up again. Yes, you can see the 24-hour sun in the north, and that's not a problem because that's what flat earthers claim. In fact, if the Earth were flat, the sun would never set anywhere ever, and it would only ever do circles around the North Pole. So the North Pole in June is the only place where you can experience what the flat Earth actually predicts. So
There's a 24-hour sun in the north.
It rolls across the top.
You can go in the north.
That proves flat Earth.
It proves flat Earth.
It doesn't prove flat Earth. It's the one place where the sun actually does what flat Earth predicts. It's the one place that it matches. Everywhere else it doesn't.
In the north, you can book hundreds of trips that say, yeah, come here and you'll see the 24-hour sun. There are 0 places in the south that will tell you that you can see the 24-hour sun.
So explain that to me.
Because The sun on the flat Earth, the sun goes around.
Do an overhead shot. He's pulling it up.
Yeah.
Overhead shot.
So DIRTh is digging himself a hole here, by the way.
Overhead, I can just do it like that. All right, perfect. So the sun goes around the Earth.
While they aim the camera, what's this thing you wanted to play earlier?
There it is right there.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
So the center is the North Pole. The sun and the moon and the stars all circle around the North Pole. So
if that's the case there, DIRTh, then you'd never see a south celestial pole. You just see the stars moving sideways in the south. How is this not super clear for people? Oh, that's right. They're either lying or dumb.
in the center during the summer, see how the sun is close to me in the summer? It never gets far enough to set. But out here in the south,
So this is really a space station.
it's not a space station.
It's an some kind of electromagnetic
Dielectric
machine.
plane.
We're in a fucking machine.
Yeah.
You are a machine. We're nanobots in a machine.
Eddie, such a simpleton.
We're in an electromagnetic torus field. That's what Earth is.
Alex, the reason they do this is to hide God. That's the number one reason. All wars, what are they fought over? Land, resources, and power. What if they're hiding 10,000 more continents?
Then, just like every other time that land was discovered, there'd be a rush to go claim it. So stupid. Or lying. Stupid or lying.
That's a reason to lie.
Oh, so maybe it is round. This looks flat here. It's bigger.
No, well, we have observations. We can see too far. On a globe, you have no matter what the size is, there's a limit to how far you can see. Then there's a physical horizon. We can see magnitudes beyond that horizon.
No, you can't. But now he's about to parrot the lie about 700 miles from Wales. Here he goes.
We can see mountains 700 miles away. That means there should be, from the altitude that we're seeing them.
I knew it was coming. I watched this part before, so I'm not the DIRTh whisperer at this point.
Using their math, giving the globe every benefit of the doubt, the tops of those mountains should be over 50 miles below a curve.
The truth is that those were just clouds. No flat earther did the basic analysis. They didn't figure out the specific direction from this is flat earthers are super easy to indoctrinate. Taboo Conspiracy put up that video that a picture was taken from the mountain in Wales. And he said, look at those white things there. He said, those on the horizon, they're way off. Those are the mountains. This one is this. And then they just named the mountains, right? They just picked some mountains in the Alps. And that was it. That was the end of the analysis that Taboo Conspiracy or the other people that he didn't do it. It was somebody else. That was it. Taboo didn't verify the data, right? Taboo didn't say, well, hold on a second. What is the angle from the observer to that distant mountain that they should see, right? Well, let's look at a nearby feature. Oh, well, here they're standing at the top of this mountain and there's this other mountain here. So we can figure out the angle that they're looking. They didn't do that. But they just said, oh, well, that one there, we're just going to call that one this mountain. And then these others, we're just going to cherry pick others that kind of fit. But they didn't do the basics then the next step of saying, well, how many degrees from this one to this one should we see? And how many degrees from this one to this one should we see, right? So how wide is the separation between these mountains? They didn't look at that. But I did. And they're more than double the width of what they would need to be for how far away they are. So getting the angle, if you skip over that they got the angle wrong and say, well, let's pretend that they didn't screw that one up, then how far apart they are is also wrong. So flat earthers didn't do their own research and they just parrot. They're just indoctrinated parrots. And to be fair, Alex Jones is parroting a bunch of stuff here too. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
But we can see them. They're all there on the same line. They're all refracting up and staring there at the same line. Or
no, they're clouds.
Maybe the Earth is just flat. Okay, the proofs are there. There's things that fall into three baskets.
So the question I have then, and to those who would take umbrage with me saying that he's stupid. Fine. He's not stupid. He's lying. He knows that that's not the case and he's lying about it. I don't know. Is that better? Is that what I should say? If you don't want me to say that he's stupid, then what? He's got to be lying. Well, seriously, I can't believe it's a fair thing to say, don't just call them stupid. But then what are they? What is DIRTh doing right now? What did he just say? If he's not stupid about this, if he does understand the topic, and if he did do the analysis as he should have, so that he can remove himself from the category of being stupid, then he has to be lying. It's worse. It's worse. Binge Thinker says, hint, the answer is always both. Yeah, could be.
Works on a flat earth, works on a globe earth, and works on both. Nothing goes into that middle basket, ever.
Oh yeah, there's something that goes into there. The sun at the North Pole goes into the both. There's a couple things that go in there. Sun at the North Pole goes into both. Right? The sun everywhere else goes into globe only. What time will the sun set? Anywhere outside the Antarctic or outside the Arctic Circle. When will the sun set? If you can't answer it, then it doesn't fit into the flat earth bucket. Icy Spin says, who is their target audience here? Debunkers? Well, no. Their target audience here is the people that follow Alex Jones, of course. And they are thinking that the people that follow Alex Jones are easy to fool. So if that's the case, then they are looking toward the correct place to find their target market.
I offer 3 Bitcoins to any of your listeners that can come up with one globe proof. Just go to my website, Flat Earth.
Okay, so here's his fake challenge. Try your luck. While he's laughing, pocketing a buck. This is an ad for his app, right? Go to my website, right? And so let's listen again.
DIRTh.com. Watch the videos on the crash course.
I knew this would be all flat earth today.
And then what? And then how will he judge whether or not somebody has come up with a globe proof? Multiple people have sent him submissions. He just ignores them. It's a fake challenge. He's just lying.
That's great. All I'm saying
But
is,
didn't you talk about Trump enough? No, you haven't. Didn't you? I just heard you going off on Trump for an hour.
2 hours.
You want more? More Trump?
yeah. There's a lot of people tuning in.
That's my only. I wish if I had a fucking.
There's a creator.
Well, I mean, I could actually believe that maybe it's even bigger than they're saying.
It is.
According to the math. Okay.
So it is round, though.
Okay. So maybe, who knows? But according to the math that NASA gives us, the Earth is 25,000 miles.
Again, they always imagine that we only know anything because NASA tells us these things. That's not the case. The radius of the Earth was known long before NASA.
1,000 circumference. That's the numbers they give us.
So you're saying we're rats? We're rats, literally in like a little cage.
We're in a prison lake. We're not a disc floating in space. That's bullshit. So people think we're not a disc floating in space. We're not a disc floating in space. We're in a fucking lake, and there's probably a bunch of lakes. I don't know. I'm speculating, but we're in a prison.
So he said it, boldly declared it, then said, "Oh, I don't know." Now he's declaring it again.
Lake. It's a machine.
Yeah. We don't need to speculate what's beyond Antarctica to prove the
But then he does speculate about what's beyond Antarctica.
Earth is flat. But it is interesting. There's tons of evidence. There's old books, the smoke.
Old books. So why do I look at planets myself and they're rotating?
Because there's a light in the sky. And I think the moon's round. I think that Jupiter's round. But when you look at Jupiter.
Hold on a second. He just screwed up there. You see, as soon as you say that the moon is round, he means a sphere, right? You're done. You're totally done. Because different people can be on opposite sides of the moon simultaneously on flat Earth and not see. If that's the case, then then one should see one side and one should see the other side. They should see different parts of the moon, right? If the moon's here, they're on different sides of it, they should see a different portion of the moon. But nobody does. Everybody sees the same portion of the moon. That goes in the bucket of doesn't work on flat Earth. What a super guy he is. He's laughing, pocketing a buck. Generally Shady says their target is Denumtes, DK, Dunning-Kruger, peak dwellers. Dunning-Kruger peak dwellers. Yes. For sure. Unflat Earth says the amount of overlap in a Venn diagram between flat earthers and Alex Jones conspiracists would almost be an exact circle, or at least an oblate spheroid. Well, Alex is not buying it at all. So, I mean, good for that. I don't know. All right. Are you getting heated yet?
It's as bright as the sun. It's just small, right? So if you were on
Just
Jupiter,
because the sun's hitting it.
It's as bright as the sun. He just claimed that Jupiter was as bright as the sun. Listen to it again. Back it up.
the sun is reflecting off of Jupiter, a gassy planet, which isn't very reflective. But think about this. If you were on Jupiter, you're 4 times farther than the sun. That would mean the sun.
Hold on.
Tons of evidence. There's old books, the smoke.
Old books. So why do I look at planets myself and they're rotating?
Because there's a light in the sky, and I think the moon's round. I think that Jupiter's round. But when you look at Jupiter, it's as bright as the sun. It's just small, right? So
It's not as bright as the sun. Okay, is he lying or stupid? Take your pick. It's one or the other. Jupiter's not as bright as the sun.
if you were on
That's
Jupiter,
because the sun's hitting it.
well, the sun is reflecting off of Jupiter, a gassy planet, which isn't very reflective. But think about this. If you were on Jupiter, you're 4 times farther than the sun. That would mean the sun is 1/64th of the size that we see it from Earth. So that tiny little sun is lighting up those gases. Those gases are reflecting sun 250,000 miles back to your eye.
So
You see it as
Sheila
bright as-
Jackson
you
Lee
see
is
it
right.
bright.
They're actually light bulbs.
I don't know what they are, but they're lights in the sky.
Okay, I don't know what they are. It's unacceptable. Tim Osmond says, might be relevant to explain the flat Earth model works because it is an azimuthal equidistant projection. Well, yeah, their map is a circle. It's a disc. They say it's not floating through space, but it's a disc, and it's a projection from the globe. North Pole's in the middle. Antarctica's around the outside. Monkey Cat Pat Pat says, I am getting very upset about this nonsense. Icy Spin says, show one observation of a non-circular moon. Just one. Yeah. Yep. All right. I'm almost there.
The only thing that you can say about the wandering stars, aka planets, and the stars is that they're lights in the sky.
That's not the only thing. That's the only thing that you can say about them because you haven't actually done any research on the topic. You don't know what they are. Other people have, though. Here you are in your extreme ignorance saying that the people that actually understand these things and have spent real effort and time understanding them, you're just saying, no, they're all wrong. And DIRTh is right because he said so.
We don't know what they are. All of the planets are named after gods. It's very strange what's going on up there. I make
Nothing about that is strange.
no claims on how far or how big they are, but I know that the heliocentric model.
No, it's as above, below. It's
nonsense.
just like
Water's above, water's
an
below.
atom with electrons around it.
Page 1 of the Bible says that the God separated the waters from the waters and created the firmament, and the firmament is where the stars are in the firmament. And think about that.
Oh, well then you did just claim that they are a specific distance away, right? The firmament distance away is how distant they must be now.
We're corkscrewing through space, traveling 4.5 billion miles a year, never to return to where we were before. 80% of the stars are in binary orbits, which means they go like this. So we got a beehive of stars. Never once have 2 stars crossed positions because of parallax.
Why would that be a necessary thing even? Why would that be a necessary thing? But I don't think that's the case, DIRTh. I don't think that's the case. But offhand, I don't have any knowledge of that. But maybe Eric Burns. You wanna look into that? See if there are right? And why would he make, this is what's interesting, why would he make such a bold claim about that? Has he done an exhaustive search of all of the parallax measurements? Because there's a lot of parallax measurements of stars. All of the visible stars have had them measured, except for the very brightest ones, because they're too bright to do a good, precise parallax measurement from. So how would he know that it hasn't had, that it's not been measured, right? He doesn't. He's just saying that, knowing that his audience won't pull him up on it.
Never once have any two stars ever crossed position.
You can
Never
see the
once.
Big Dipper all year round.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Explain that. That's not hard to explain. It's funny. Here's the. You got DIRTh on one side, who knows how to tailor his grifting presentation, right? He's honed his grifting presentation over many times. And you got on the other side Eddie Bravo, who just doesn't have a damn clue. Like, hey, the Big Dipper, explain it. Can't you explain the Big Dipper? Yes, it's not hard to explain the Big Dipper, Dingleberry. Sorry, I take that back. It's not hard to explain the Big Dipper, Dingleflurf.
We should be seeing different stars every night. Every night there should be.
He's so dumb or lying that he thinks that that all of the stars are not moving and we're the only ones moving. That's how dumb or lying he is, right? He's so dumb or lying.
Be different stars.
Every star. But here,
Now,
if the
our
Big
movement's so much smaller around the sun compared to that.
Okay, listen. According to NASA, we're spinning in 4 directions
At once.
that you can't even see. We're
Again, dumb or lying here. You sum the directions. It's one direction when you sum them.
spinning 4. We're spinning.
No, we're not spinning. That's not spin. Or orbit is not spin. Orbit is a translation of position. Rotation is spinning. They're independent of each other.
You always feel spins. When you're on a plane and you're going straight, you don't feel like, oh, we're on a plane, we don't feel nothing. But as soon as you start turning, you feel it. You feel the spin, and it doesn't end until the spinning ends. So as long
Actually, he's quite wrong there. If you're not looking out the window and you're banking in an airplane, you can tell when you go from not banking to banking. But when you're in a consistent bank, you can't feel it. You don't know that you're banking if you're not looking out the windows. Down is still down relative to you. You still feel down in one vector, even though there's 2 vectors summing. Right? And that's how dumb or lying he is.
as the plane is spinning, you feel it. You don't stop feeling spin. Like you're in a carnival and you're in that spinning thing. Like after 1 minute, you don't stop feeling the spin. You're against the wall. So NASA tells us we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour on our.
He's such a simpleton. He's look, there's just nothing between those cauliflower ears. Nothing at all.
Our own axis, and we're spinning 60,000 miles an hour.
So, buddy-
Listen.
See, he keeps giving these linear numbers and calling it a spin. So tell me, does he understand this topic completely, and he's just lying about it, or is he too stupid to understand this topic? You tell me, everybody that says that I shouldn't call him stupid.
Listen, let me finish. So we're spinning. let me just finish.
Ridiculous.
We're spinning 1,000 miles an hour on our own axis, 60,000 miles an hour around the sun, and the sun is spinning 600,000 miles an hour around the center of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way galaxy is spinning 1,000,000 miles an hour.
That is ridiculous.
None of that is called spin. None of that is spin. All of this was wrong and incredulity. Oh, how come you don't feel it? That's crazy. That's so much. That's so fast. It's like He's just vacant. There's nothing going on. Nothing up there between the cauliflower ears.
Listen, no, we're spinning.
I knew what I was
according
gonna
to
get.
NASA,
You guys
according to
can't
NASA, we're spinning in 4 entirely different directions at speeds you can't even see. Yet we're still as fuck. Yet you believe we're spinning 600,000 miles an hour. You believe that?
All right, so let me raise this. It is like an airplane when you're flying along at 600 miles an hour.
I'm talking about spinning.
I know.
When the plane starts spinning, do you feel it? When the plane starts spinning, do you feel it?
Flat Earth, it's amazing. We're really breaking the chains here.
I cracked them.
You cracked me. It's all over. So you're telling me
He's just blowing them off. That's funny.
that the communist Chinese and the Russians and the U.S., it's all staged.
Yes.
They're all covering up.
Yes.
They're all covering up the flat Earth.
They know part of controlling your masses.
They all know. So they all know, but who's controlling all of them? Who is the shadowy organization that's making all of them do this and has been doing it for centuries?
And conquer.
Steal a tax money. It's the easiest. It's all
NASA
about
gets
stealing tax money.
$80
So that you
million
got out of
a
space
day,
station.
Alex.
Get-
80 million.
You
They
got
don't
out
do
of
tax
space
money. They just
You got
issue
out
the
of
money.
space program.
Let me talk. It's okay.
Space program to launder money. Space programs are to
They
launder money.
print the money. Why do they need to launder it?
You're right. They're just taking it from us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This is really.
So they're just taking it from us. There are plenty other government programs in the United States that are significantly larger than NASA. If you want to talk about them taking it from us, but you know what? I've been, yeah. Alex is the sanest person in the room, but I'm Flat Earth Dave just lies and lies. So I've got something for you. Got the special feature. I don't know when I might publish this anywhere. So if you're here right now, the 415 of you that are here right now, get ready. This is going to be, it's not that long. I think you will enjoy it. Like I said, I sent it to Craig, to FDFE, and he's like, I watched it 10 times in a row. And I'm like, yeah, that's a lot. And then I'm like, okay, well, but I had already watched it a whole bunch of times because I made it. And then since then, I'm like, oh yeah, I did the same thing. So, all right, well, get your earbuds in. You're going to like this. What happened? I don't know what happened. Hold on. Okay. I think it hung for a second. Did it hang? Did it hang for a second? Okay. All right. I'm going to play it again.
Yo, listen up, it's your boy DIRTh in the his house. Plan so slick, gonna make your pockets dizz house. I got an app that's gonna change your life, but before you download, let me slice through the strife. They say the earth's a globe, but I beg to differ. I'll make you believe, I'll make you shiver. Spectroscopy needs a container, that's my claim. I've got no clue, I just hang my head in shame. Yo, listen up, it's your boy DIRTh in the his house. That's the who's house. Got a plan so slick, gonna make your pockets dizz house. I got an app that's gonna change your life, but before you download, let me slice through the strife. They say the earth's a globe, but I beg to differ. I'll make you believe, I'll make you shiver. Spectroscopy needs a container, that's my claim. I've got no clue, I just hang my head in shame. But turn up, that's the line I'm preaching. Sell my app, it's what I'm seeking. Fake challenge, try your luck. While I'm laughing, pocketing a buck. I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
Flat Earth, that's the lie I'm preaching. Sell my app, it's what I'm wanna see your fake challenge. Try your luck while I'm laughing, pocketing a buck. I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
Yo,
Dave
Dave
Weiss
Weiss
is
is
a
a scammer. Talk about Antarctica, the icy place. I offered a free trip, dangled it in my face, but I won't go. It's not about thrift. I'm staying home, gotta protect my grift. I'm a scammer. I'm a scammer. Yo, Dave Weiss is a scammer. Talk about Antarctica, that icy place. Offered a free trip, dangled it in my face, but I won't go. It's not about thrift. I'm staying home, gotta protect my grift. I'm a scammer. Antarctica, that icy place. Offered a free trip, dangled it in my face, but I won't go. It's not about thrift. I'm staying home, gotta protect my grift. I'm a scammer. The scammer, I play the game. Gonna hustle hard, gonna rise to fame. But remember one thing, it's all a ploy to make that green. I'll be your decoy. So if you wanna join, come take my hand. But beware the tricks, it's all planned. DIRTH, that's my name. In the world of scams, I got the fame.
I'm a scammer.
I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Yep. That was not me on the piano. That's somebody recognized who it was. Brian Kavanaugh. Brendan Kavanaugh. So yeah, I found somebody playing piano and dropped it in there. So doing a little bit of a similar kind of feel on it, but none of it matches. The piano doesn't match. So there it is. Dave Weiss is a scammer. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Sincerely, I truly mean that Dave Weiss is a scammer. And the reason why I believe that and it's such a well supported thing is that I've been told not to assume that he's stupid. I've been told that that's not fair to just call people stupid, that I should go away from just calling them stupid. And instead, well, there was no instead offered. So I had to think up myself, well, what instead should I say instead? Well, if they're not stupid, then Dave Weiss needs to he has to then understand these things. He has to understand that 66,000 miles per hour is not a spin, that it's a translation in position. And that he says it's a spin because he's lying. That's the otherwise. That's the otherwise. So Dave Weiss is not stupid, he's lying. Is the necessity there. So there we go. Yes, Monkey Cat Pat Pet. The fact that Dave refused a free trip to Antarctica is 100% proof he's a scammer and grifter. And absolutely, that's where that line came from. Offered a free trip, dangled it in my face. But I ain't going. It's not about the thrift. Gonna stay home. Gotta protect my grift. Because if he went and saw that sun do circles, that's the end of his grift. If anybody goes, he knows it's dangerous. That puts his grift in jeopardy. So there we go. Anyway, I'll play it again. But let's get a little more of I got a couple things to read here. We got Steve Revel said, OMG, this is so painful to watch. Like closing time at the pub. I'm still spitting from the Starship launch last night. 12 o'clock lunchtime Friday. Yeah. Aaron Reese, how much to rename the musical genre derpcore? Yeah. Yeah, it's a piano and a bass and a drums. That's it. Nice and simple, and a little bit of rap. All right. Liquid Flames, how much did I do? I didn't do any of it. Well, I wrote the lyrics. The lyrics. So, Titans Hub says, I honestly would love to see Dave try and wiggle out of personally seeing the 24-hour sun. Well, he would say, definitely, to protect his grift, he would definitely say things like, it's faked somehow, that it's a mirror image off of the dome firmament somehow. All of these things, of course, wouldn't make sense, or that there's multiple suns. These wouldn't make sense, because if there's two suns, well, when did the one sun that the real one, or the prime one, I don't know, that you're looking at, and then it keeps going around behind you, when did the other one get swapped in? You'd see it come in, and you'd see the other one leave, right? There can't be two, because you'd see two. If it's a reflection, well, same thing. If it's like, well, the real sun's there, and it's reflecting off of the dome that way. Well, but when you were looking at it this way, and then hours later you were looking at it this way, well, when did it swap? How did the sun swap in? Right, that we were looking at the real one, and then somehow, oh no, now we're looking at the reflection of it. How did that happen? No explanation. Was it faked somehow? How do you fake it? How do you fake going in there? Like, I was watching in Jaron's chat yesterday while he was talking with Will Duffy, and they're like, well, how would you know that you're in Antarctica? Well, explain where you would be that you see the sun go around you in circles. Where else would you possibly be? Let's say you go to Punta Arenas and in southern Chile, and then you get on a plane and you fly for 5 hours. Okay? Let's say that you didn't even trouble yourself to look out the window, or trouble yourself to figure out what direction you're going, right? Then what? Right? Where are you? You're only 5 hours away from there, and then you land and you see the sun go do circles around you. You're not at the North Pole. The sun would go the wrong direction. And at that time of year, the sun is set at the North Pole. Couldn't be there. Are you somewhere else in South America? How did that work? Right? That shows how, well, I don't want to say stupid, must be lying that these people in the comments are. They obviously, if they're not stupid, they fully understand that that's impossible. That they couldn't get in a plane and fly for 5 hours and then get out and see somewhere else other than Antarctica. Right? So since they're not stupid enough to think that, they're lying about it. Right? Icy Spin says, what if you think you're in Antarctica, but turns out you're on the North Pole? The North Pole that time of year is dark, and the sun never goes the sun doesn't go the same direction at the North Pole as it does at the South Pole. So you'd have to be at the North Pole 6 months later and mirror image world. So I don't know how that works. That would take a little bit of fantasy. So, all right, let's listen to a little more of his not stupidness. He understands this completely and is intentionally lying about it.
You're right. Eddie, give us your flat Earth hypothesis.
I think Trump is a flat earther secretly. How about that? And so is Donald Trump Jr.
I think the Earth is actually Donald Trump's
Obama
butt.
knows. Obama said talked about flat Earth 8 times during his presidency.
Yeah, he was mocking you.
Speeches. In his speeches, he says, we don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society because that's where they want you to go. That's where they straw man us.
Yeah,
right?
the Flat Earth Society is fake.
Yeah, because they want you to go there because you go there, you spend 5 minutes there, you'll never look at Flat Earth again.
Exactly.
No Flat Earther believes any of that. No Flat Earther, there it is right there.
No Flat
right?
Earther believes
That
no
is,
Flat.
And there's the lie. I have personally had some Flat Earthers on to debate me that think that. Just a couple weeks ago, I had a guy on that thinks that there's 2 Flat Earths. floating in space next to each other at a 45-degree angle. So there are some, and there are real flat earthers on the flatearthsociety.org forums. You've got Daniel Shenton is on the flatearthsociety.org. Daniel Shenton, the real person. He's a flat earther. He thinks the earth is flat. And if you go to tfes.org, there's another group there. You have Pete Savarier and Tom Bishop. Both of them think that the earth is flat and that the earth is a disk accelerating up is what those two generally think. So I don't know what Daniel Shenton thinks, but so there you go. There are flat earthers that think that. And why? This is what I find interesting. Flat earthers all say this, not all of them, right? The ones that are on these forums don't, but the rest of them, this massive group of them, all parrot the exact same words about the Flat Earth Society. They all parrot that the Flat Earth Society is controlled opposition. Every one of them. All of them, not everyone, but they all parrot this. They parrot that. They just can't not say it. If you bring that up, boom, that comes out of their mouth, right? They're just parroting. How do you know that? Blind faith. Somebody else told you. Indoctrination. That's how they know. That's it. Somebody told them and they blindly accepted it. Right? That's it. None of them have any evidence that they're controlled opposition. Now, they're you know why, though? You know why they don't like it? Because they propose that the earth is moving, and this wide collection of flat earthers reject that. They think that the earth must be stationary because the Bible says stationary. So they start with the conclusion, earth stationary. Then they say, well, everything that disagrees with earth stationary has to be rejected, and we'll only accept things that support earth stationary, right? Which there isn't, but right, they still want it. They still grasp for those straws. And since the Flat Earth Society doesn't say that, like, well, they have to be out. But don't worry, guys. They're not there to make you look stupid. You get that all on your own. You don't need help, right? Or lying. I mean, stupid or lying. So, Boba Sweat. They won't even, Icy Spin says, Booba Sweat says, they won't even subject themselves to a situation that could prove them wrong. That person is dangerous to themselves and others. Yeah. They don't want the truth. They actively reject anything that might expose them to the truth. Right? So good on Jaren for at least looking toward it so far. Right? And when other flat earthers have tried to pull him up on Antarctica, he said no. The reason why, he said this last night, if you watched his live stream last night, Jaren said, the reason why the pick the conclusion first and then fill in afterwards, Jaren totally nailed it. He said, the reason why flat earthers say that the sun sets in Antarctica is because it has to for flat earth. They didn't go look at evidence and discover that it sets. They discovered that their position requires that it sets. And then they declared that it doesn't set because they started with the conclusion. It's a very dishonest way to do anything. All of us are susceptible to it. Look at yourself. I need to do that too. Don't start with the conclusion. You start with a hypothesis and then test it. And if it's falsified, try again. Icy Spin says, if Jaren goes, I'll change how I feel about him. Yeah. I think he is looking at it the right way. So Chris says, is Daniel Shenton related to Shenton that set up the Flat Earth Society in the late 1800s? They are not. They are different Shentons. It's just by chance that they have the same last name. So, and it's not the late 1800s. I think you're thinking about the Shenton that was in charge of the Flat Earth Society up until the 1970s, until his house burned down and they lost the mailing list. So then they had to rebuild it, and they didn't have, there's no internet. You couldn't email anybody. So, anyway, there you go. It's funny to do this because the thing is, this model, they don't like this model, but this model is just as accurate as every other model they've put forward. Zero. How do you differentiate this model from all the other models as far as correctness goes? There's no difference. They're all wrong. They're all the same amount of wrong, 100%. Right? All right. Oh yeah. Yeah. How is this model wrong when Austin says,
we don't have a model.
yeah, you don't have a model, right? How can you say that this is wrong when you don't have a model, right?
I'm a stupid flat earther, right? And I'm just a loser.
Okay, well, I can't argue with that. So, all right.
Flat Earther
That is
believes
two
that.
fake models. That's a heliocentric fake
What do
model.
they believe?
We believe that we are the foundation of the universe. That's the best way we have it.
Here, Alex, check this out. Check this out. If
He had a chance to actually present his model. And all he had is, we believe we're the foundation of the universe. That's it. That's it.
you know,
I gotta go to break. I get it. All that matters is the flat Earth. I understand.
It does. That's
It's
actually
the foundation
truth.
of all the
No, it
other
must
life.
be.
That's the biggest lie of all.
It's
That's the
like
biggest lie of all.
Jew. It's
Oh, he's there. He's trying to pitch his website there. It's all about the grift.
Go
Another one
to
of
the
the things
crash
that-
course on flatearthdave.com. Watch those videos and make up your own mind. Don't believe anything I
we
say.
gotta go to
Did you notice that? Watch those videos and don't believe anything I said. Wait a second. You want people to do their own research by not trusting what he said, by going to your website and watching what you said to watch. Dave knows what he's doing there. He knows. He knows the psychology of what he's just said there. Right? And he's relying on people to not know what he just did. He said, don't trust me. But go watch all these videos that I specifically curated for you to watch. So trust him. Right? And the kind of people that will go to his website, watch those things, thinking that they're doing research, are exactly the kind of gullible, easily indoctrinated people that Dave wants to have in his fold, so that they'll go to his website and buy his coffee from his website and buy his app and get the monthly service fee to get the blue dot thing or whatever on the app, right? That's why. I see through it, Dave. Got to protect your grift.
break.
Your cardio.
All right, let's get past this here. It's like a clip of some. All right. All right, here we go.
I love Eddie.
Only 85 million. Dude, we'll take 85 million out the door. Sandy Hook families offer to settle Alex Jones 1.5 billion legal debt for a minimum 85 million. Give us 85 million,
why?
we're good.
All right, I don't know why they're.
Because they're not getting shit. Maybe they're not getting shit.
All right. Didn't want to hear that.
Next.
Your producer asked about circumnavigation, Magellan
No, I asked him.
Yeah. Talk.
Yeah.
Go
So-
for it.
Okay, so again, Alex didn't do it. Didn't do anything. Alex is coming up with the standard dumb things that Dave is prepared for. Right, and sadly, a lot of people don't understand that Magellan doing what he did it's not the thing, right? The distances that Magellan had to take, that doesn't work on flat Earth. But just doing what he did in east to west or west to east, that's not the problem.
So, but let's go back. We'll do that. Let's take your stuff one piece at a time.
Way to do it.
So there's this big thing I've seen for 10 years on the internet where they claim like, oh, the United States had giant cities all over it, and these buildings you see that are built, even though we can know when they're built, it's on record.
Okay, I'm gonna skip over this. I watched the little part here. So they're talking about this is a crap documentary called Old World Order, and here's all the either people that are definitely understand this topic. They're not stupid, but they say untrue things, so they're lying about it. So, and you'll see none of these people. So they're talking about buildings that are 130 years old, that they think it's not possible to have built those buildings with the technology that they had at the time. Why do they think that? Well, because they're so expert in this topic. No, none of these people are expert in that topic. Johnny G and Papa there on the bottom left there, he does tattoos. Yeah. So why is he? Why would he be somebody that you would, bring in as an expert on whether or not a building that's 130 years old was able to be built with the technology that they had at the time? You wouldn't. He's not somebody that you'd include in the list. Yet he made this list. That's because Sean Hibbler has no care about truth. Sean isn't stupid. Sean fully understands this and is intentionally lying to people about it for his documentary for whatever reason. So Beaver Zero says, you got to admit, Alex's audience is the right audience. Dave will be selling beluga whale juice enema by the pallet after this. Yes. Anyway, so this is they played the trailer to that dumb video by dumb, well, or maybe not dumb, maybe intentionally lying video by Sean Hibbler. So, all right.
Good girders, they burn to the fucking ground, Eddie.
Don't with fire?
Because this is complete mental illness. The family diaries of my family in Virginia.
Okay.
We're doing this because this.
Okay. So this I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about here. But this is a little interesting thing, and then it gets a little good tidbit in the end here.
This is complete mental illness. I have the family diaries of my. They burn to the fucking ground, Eddie.
What temperature does stone melt?
When the girders collapse, it falls apart.
The stone girders?
What? So stone.
No, there's
stone
wood girders in those.
Stone melts with.
So they're talking about cities like Chicago, the Chicago fire of early 1900s, and a lot of the buildings were stone, but there was more than just stones that was holding them together. And he's talking about some of the infrastructure between the stone that would be woods. I don't know the specifics, buildings or anything like that he's talking about, but that is what he's addressing here.
Fire?
No, he's not talking about what happened in New York City, Beaver Zero, in 2001. So
you guys, let me just say something.
No.
I'm glad we're doing this because this is complete mental illness. I have the family diaries of my family in Virginia and in Georgia and in Tennessee and Alabama coming and getting Mexican land grants. My dad has in a safe 200-year-old, 170-year-old Mexican land grants. There was nothing here. We had to fight the Apaches or the Comanches to literally build this. There was nothing here. And then you sit there and say, because architecture used to be more beautiful, which is true, that it was built, and then you say airships were around for thousands of years during the break. That's crazy. No, airships, because they didn't have enough helium, they were full of hydrogen.
Okay, how is it that on this topic also I'm with him? Remember, even your closest friend, you will be on the other side of an issue with. So, I in this one, Yep, I'm on the same side with him, that this is about thinking that these houses or these buildings were there before people came and populated it. That's what this is. All this Tartaria nonsense is all about. It's so just crazy.
When the Hindenburg blowed up, they were too slow, so airplanes took it over. Are you saying airplanes are fake?
Airplanes are fake?
Who says that?
Is that what you're asking?
No, you told me during the break they're a scam.
Straw man?
No.
Straw man?
The Wright brothers, the Wright brothers story is hilarious.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and tell me. Jesus Christ. Guys, please. I mean, just listen.
So the building.
Are you saying the U.S. Capitol's 1,000 years old? Tell me what buildings are fake and who built them?
We don't know. I'm not making any claims. We can.
You are making claims. You're claiming that they were there. How do you know they were there? If you don't know they were there. That's the thing. You don't know that. You are making claims. You're claiming that they were there, but you don't know how they were there.
Can show you though. They said this building was built in 1850, and there's a picture of it in 1790 with 100-year growth on it.
So that somebody made in a Photoshop?
Oh, everything's Photoshop now, right?
No, it's on record. They built it in a swamp there. They built the U.S. Capitol. It's on record.
Besides Old World Order, there's a channel called My Lunch Break.
Oh my God, a
Watch
channel.
those
How
videos.
old is the Empire State Building?
I have no idea.
Oh, you're just saying it's all built by somebody else,
Well,
but it's not.
There's pictures
No,
and
tell me
videos of airships.
Okay, are you saying the Taj Mahal? Tell me right now which buildings were built before.
I don't know. I make no claims other than the story that they tell us doesn't line up.
The story they tell us doesn't line up. It's just, Dave knows his target market. He's looking for Alex Jones listeners who are gullible enough to think that just because a building is old and fancy, that it couldn't have been built by people 150 years ago.
There are videos of giant airships connecting to the Empire State Building, to the Eiffel Tower, to other towers.
There are videos of Donald.
There's no question that happened. That's documented. There's nothing contentious about that.
Trump eating shit. They're fake.
Okay, so they're fake?
Dude, we built North America. They built in the Renaissance, and before that, the big cathedrals that are gorgeous. The fact we're not caring as craftsmen and not and with air conditioning, they made buildings big and square to cool them.
Here's what I say. Go watch these videos.
Don't watch them. Don't watch these videos.
Watch these movies and make up your own mind. Don't just listen to us because we're just talking about stuff here. I don't have all the facts. I don't make any claims.
So it's back to the same thing. He's like, oh, don't believe us, but watch the video we told you to watch. He's saying, believe us. That's what he's saying. When he says, go watch the video, he's saying, believe us, right? He's deceiving people. It's a bait and switch. That's what he's doing, right? So he can wash his hands like, oh, I said, don't believe us, but definitely go watch the video. Believe us about the video. The video's good. Yeah, you got to watch the video because I said don't believe us, but it's the video. It's only got to watch the video. That's what he's doing.
Claims. Watch these videos and figure it out yourself.
This is a serious mind virus. I'm going to ask you a question. How do they fire cruise missiles from a ship and 1,000 miles away, shoot it down somebody's chimney?
Through the ground positioning system, GPS.
He just lies. Just lies.
It's a ground positioning.
Yeah, because the Earth is spinning and wobbling. You got air. So the Earth is spinning and making all those motions that Eddie was describing before. And somehow a satellite is mirroring all of those in space. How does it do that?
It's not hard. That's elementary physics. Either, I don't know, is Dave lying about that? Because I couldn't assume that he's stupid and doesn't understand it. He understands it, and now he's lying about it.
Mathematics.
They had the
mathematics.
Mathematic equation.
They had the Loran system.
The same way.
Which one? Give me the equation.
The same way with a cell phone
What's
can
the
encode
equation?
a voice and do that. It's the same. It's
Alex,
compression.
they had the Loran system here when I was growing up before satellites, and then it did everything that GPS does, and all of a sudden.
No, it doesn't. It didn't do everything. It didn't work in distant areas. It wasn't very precise. You needed large antennas and a large amount of power. Very different from GPS.
They said, oh, we got satellites in the sky now, and they just put a graphic overlay over it with cartoons, and that's it. And they call it, it's all done by satellites. It's not done by satellites. Satellites, if you actually look at it.
Nuclear weapons aren't real. All the buildings we see, we didn't build.
All the buildings, we said that.
Yes.
Did we say that? All the buildings?
No, I'm saying what buildings were built by somebody
You
else.
just said we just.
No. You're saying nothing was. Tell me what buildings were built when and by who.
Well, I don't remember them off the top of my head, but go watch that film. All
Don't
the
watch it.
information
Don't
has
watch
been
it.
done for you. It's
No,
all been organized.
Oh, I've seen the
That's all
photos where
wrong.
it says
It's
a
all
cathedral
wrong.
is really 20 stories deep and there's really something under it.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Go look at
How is that so
They're
crazy?
finding stuff now in construction sites.
They
They're
sued you
finding-
for $1 trillion.
They're trying to out-stupid each other. Just, I need a break for a second from that. My mom bakes cakes says Jaron is going south, but needs another flurf to hold his hand. Yeah. Now I'll give you that. I will give him the not wanting to go alone. I get it. I will even then he bolsters his argument by saying, well, if we're going to film the sun 24 hours a day, we're going to have to take shifts. Awesome. 10 of you should go. There's an open invitation. So I think if the flat earthers cared about the truth, they would be clamoring over each other to be the one that goes, and they would have several GoFundMes set up already. All the flat earthers that care about truth would get a GoFundMe to go so that they can go see whether or not what they've been claiming is actually the case. I don't know of any that have a GoFundMe to go. There are 2 GoFundMes to go, one by Globy McGlobeface and one by Critical Think. Oh, they're both Globers. They're not scared of the truth. Think about that. Yeah, it's not about the truth. You're right, Icy Spin. Chris says, is Daniel Shenton related to Shenton that set up the Flat Earth Society? He is no relation. Dirtbike says both DIRTh and Mxyzptlk have type 2 derpies. And Mark Beiser says soon MC Toon will be ranting about gay frogs. No, I won't. Goodness, I am. Don't worry about that. Just because we're on the same on this. Yeah, Brenda Grace. When Alex Jones is the smartest person in the room. All right.
And you're defending that system?
Yeah.
No, I get it. Because the system's lying doesn't mean whatever we make up is real.
You don't think we know that? You don't think you're telling me something I just, oh my God.
Hey, Eddie.
I just figured it out.
Hey,
Let's
Alex,
keep going here.
We see
so
too far.
just because they have
We see too far.
communications relay systems on blimps, they've never denied that. You said they banned blimps. They didn't. There are also satellites that are 20,000 miles away.
How do you know that?
How do you know that?
How do they
They're
mirror?
synchronous. They're
NASA told
How do they
geosynchronous.
mirror all? The Earth is orbiting, chasing, and spinning. How do they stay geosynchronous? How does that one satellite stay over the Earth while the Earth is curving through space at crazy speeds in 4 different directions?
Because it
Okay. Once more, I must not assume that he's stupid. I must assume that he understands this topic fully. And he totally grasps that there are no problems with that because of inertia. And that he is saying it because he's lying. Okay? He's not stupid, he's lying about it.
locks into gravity in one spot.
It locks into gravity.
Same reason the
At
moon
one
is
spot.
going the
What
same way.
gravity? Einsteinian gravity or Newtonian gravity?
Well,
Which one?
Newtonian gravity was expanded in the unified field theory.
So it's the bending and warping of space-time holds the satellite in space, right? What is the
No,
bending,
the bending and
warping?
warping of space-time
Is the new gravity.
no. Well, that's one of the positives of the whole operation.
One of the positives of the whole operation. So he was a little bit on there. I don't know what he means by that. Maybe he's going to clarify because that sounded a little weird.
Or electrostatic?
No,
Have
you
looked
just
into
know that the
electrostatic?
public has no scientific knowledge, so you can write fiction and claim, oh, yeah, Easter bunnies
That's
come out
not
of Santa
true.
Claus's ass,
not true.
and that's how it all
Nailed
works.
it.
No, you're saying that a bunch of these buildings were built thousands of years ago in North America. And yeah, in Ohio and places, there are a bunch of pyramids, and we know that, built by the fucking Aztecs. What I'm saying to you is, no one's denying in Mexico City there isn't a big-ass pyramid. No one's denying in Chichen Itza there isn't. No one's saying that didn't go on. These buildings are on record being built, and you point at them and say, that wasn't built by us. Well, then who built the airplanes? Who built all these new cities? Who built all these systems? Who did? No, we're doing all this.
Alex, there's lots of things on record. You believe everything just because it's on record that it's true?
No, here's an example. I have diaries of my family coming here where there was nothing and building railroads.
You should have
Did they go everywhere?
copies of that diary right here with all these notes.
Oh, I know. That's like when I'm not mad at Kanye West, but he was here a year and a half ago. And I said, look, both my grandfathers were in World War II in the European theater. My dad's dad did his missions. He doubled them. He didn't do 21 missions or 22 missions. He did 40 something. And then he was involved in logistics in Germany. And he said he wouldn't talk about it, but I asked him to tell me, he said there were dead bodies and millions of dead people everywhere. And we went into death camps and there were piles of dead bodies. And we had to literally bulldoze them into giant pits. And everyone was throwing up. And the Germans didn't even know what was happening because it was compartmentalized. And I had Kanye say, your grandfather knows nothing. So you just said, you just said my family Bible.
No.
We bought the land from Santa Ana. There's graveyards.
I was raised in Santa Ana.
Santa Ana was the Mexican dictator. We have a graveyard, a property we sold, Plum Creek Ranch now, that has people that says killed by Comanches 1827. So I know we live there. I knew my grandma. I knew them. There's trees they planted 150 years ago. You're telling me they came here, there was nothing. They describe it. You're saying, no, all the cities were already there. You're telling me, don't believe my grandmother.
Listen.
Wow. I did not know. If I were to guess, I would have guessed that Jones would have been a Holocaust denier, but there he is, not being a Holocaust denier, sitting next to two, probably, I don't know about DIRTh. He's got a Jewish family, but probably Bravo, because I'll get to that in a second. And he just talked about bulldozing bodies, right? We know what he's talking about, right? He's talking about World War II. Wow. And he just, I hate this. It's making me like what he's saying is just crazy. Man. So why do I think that Eddie Bravo is a one of those? Well, if you look at the periodic table, why do I think that that Bravo is a sodium zinc? Because he's good friends with Johnny G and Papa. And I'm not going to say how I know that. I'm just going to say he's friends with Johnny G and Papa. And I know, well, that if you search up Johnny G and Papa, he was on a podcast with Hibbler and Dubé. I think it was Hibbler hosting. And the two of them really got it off. That Hibbler and Dubé, or not Hibbler, Johnny G and Papa and Dubé really, they got along nicely. And there's an article written about them by I think the ADL or somebody like the ADL, the anti. Forgetting what the D stands for. Anyway, doesn't matter. So Johnny and Dubé, and you, it's what he doesn't deny it, is a fan of the mustachioed leader from Germany, circa World War II. Yep, they got off. So there's an article written about it. You can find that if you just search for them, and you'll see it. The podcast. I have a copy of it. if anybody wants it. So Captain Pikes says Alex Jones is a Holocaust denier. Really? But what did he just say then? Thomas Gage, look up sodium and zinc on the periodic table. Look at look at the letters. Right? So I made it up myself. So I don't, maybe somebody else has in the past, but the video that I have coming out maybe tomorrow will tell you where I got that from. Anyway, so he just said that his grandpa, right? Was it grandpa? Bulldozed bodies in World War II. That the Germans, that when they came in. So, all right, I'll run it back. That's a good idea. All right, so we're gonna see, is he what stance is he on the Holocaust here?
You just
I
said
didn't say that.
You just said my family Bible.
No.
We bought the land from Santa Ana. There's graveyards.
I was raised in Santa Ana.
Santa Ana was a Mexican dictator.
I love that part. He's like, I bought it from Santa Ana. And like, I was raised in Santa Ana. And Alex won't even look at him. He's like, I can't believe he's a dictator. It's not a town, it's a person. Yeah, that's see that he didn't even look at him. That's great.
We have a graveyard, a property we sold, Plum Creek Ranch now, that these buildings are on record being built. And you point at them and say, that wasn't built by us. Well, then who built the airplanes? Who built all these new cities? Who built all these systems? Who did? No, we're doing all this.
Alex, there's lots of things on record. You believe everything just because it's on record that it's true?
No, here's an example. I have
Okay, and X-Penguin, don't use ZN for zinc, just use ZI for zinc. Right? You have to be a little more creative.
diaries of my family coming here where there was nothing and building railroads.
You should have
Did they go everywhere?
copies of that diary right here with all these notes.
Oh, I know. That's like when I'm not mad at Kanye West, but he was here a year and a half ago.
Oh, here
and
we
I
go.
said,
Okay.
look, both my grandfathers were in World War II in the European theater. My dad's dad did his missions. He doubled them. He didn't do 21 missions or 22 missions. He did 40 something. And then he was involved in logistics in Germany. And he said, he wouldn't talk about it, but I asked him to tell me, he said there were dead bodies and millions of dead people everywhere. And we went into death camps and there were piles of dead bodies. And we had to literally bulldoze them into giant pits. And everyone was throwing up. And the Germans didn't even know what was happening because it was compartmentalized. And I had Kanye say, your grandfather knows nothing. So you just said, you just said my family Bible.
No.
We bought the land from.
All right. I think that's clear. His grandpa told him that he was there and saw, he said, millions of bodies in Germany. That he's definitely not a Holocaust denier. That's what I'm getting from that. Yeah. So I'm on. You know, when you're wrong, you're wrong. And you've got to admit it. And I thought that Alex Jones would be a denier. But I was wrong. So I'll own that. Good for him for not being on that side of it. So anyway, I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming. All right, let me read a few more super chats here. The Sun Express says Alex Jones lording over the flurfs and hobos, hammer down policy, preferably from orbit. Yeah, I mean, it's making me agree with him. Stop it. Warren Smith is a member at Einstein. Thank you. Captain Pickles says Alex Jones is a Holocaust denier. I think that just said the other. I think that pushed that right. What do you think, Captain Pickles? Do you think that did that tell you anything? Did that settle it for you that he is not? For me, it did. Cretan Bull says, Alex Jones isn't a Holocaust denier. Did not see the comment. Did not see. Not see. I see what you did. So, where Carlos says, my grandfather served toward the end of World War II in the Navy, and to be a Holocaust denier infuriates me. See, when you mess around, when you right, flat Earth is silly. The sun couldn't set. That's it. Done. There's no flat Earth. It ends right there. Right? Like, oh, you don't understand. Okay, tell me what time the sun will set. Just tell me what time it'll set. If you can't tell me what time the sun will set, then I have a good understanding of the geometry. Right? If you can't tell me where I'm wrong about the geometry by saying this is the time that our geometry says the sun will set, then I have a better understanding of the geometry than you. You can't do anything about it. Don't care. You're wrong. Flat Earth can't happen. It can't. It's silly. Flat Earthers are a bunch of goofballs. Whatever. It's fun. Right? But then they go, and because they are that people, they go there. Right? The Challenger explosion. Well, they start with the conclusion. It has to be, right? It has to be that it was faked. So then they start messing around with people's lives. They claim that people that really did die, people that went to those funerals, didn't go to funerals. The people that were married to them are no longer married to them or still married to them, right? That's a small number of people. Millions of people they deny. It's sick. It's just sick. So Aaron Reese says, from what I've found, InfoWars aired a poll questioning the number of victims of the Holocaust, but not its actual existence. Okay. Is that so? A poll. So they did a poll. Right? That's one thing to have a poll. It's another thing to have Alex, right? So I'm putting Alex as the head of this organization because he started it. It's his baby. So the poll of the viewers, yeah, they're definitely likely. It wouldn't surprise me. It did surprise me that Alex is whatever. Whatever. Okay. We'll move on.
Santa Ana. There's graveyards.
I was raised in Santa Ana.
Santa Ana was a Mexican dictator. We have a graveyard, a property we sold, Plum Creek Ranch now, that has people that says killed by Comanches 1827. So I know we live there. I knew my grandma. I knew them. There's trees they planted 150 years ago. You're telling me they came here, there was nothing. They describe it. You're saying, no, all the cities were already there. You're telling me, don't believe my grandmother.
Listen. I got a family member that's a doctor. She went to school and she's a doctor. She believes in vaccines. That's my family.
No, Eddie.
You think my family's lying?
Eddie, there's a graveyard on our property. It's not ours anymore.
No, I got family members that
from
say
our main ranch house. If
they write it in their diary.
If I walk through the woods 1,000 yards on a hill, there are hundreds of graves with Johnsons and Joneses and Browns, my family, and it's dead people. That's my family. They're real, and in their diaries, there was nothing here.
What kind of car did they have back then? What kind of car?
They had horses.
They had horses. Right. I have a car that goes very fast, can go great distances. I live in a little tiny state called Connecticut, and I haven't seen 99% of it. And I've been here for 60 years. Right. So your guys with horse and buggies, did they look around and see if there's any buildings all over the United States?
Oh, wow. So let me tell you, was the Texas Capitol built?
I don't know.
Well, the Texas Capitol was built with slave labor from Convict Hill in South Austin, on record with a train station they built. And I had family involved in the construction of the state capitol, that beautiful thing. You're saying that was built 1,000 years ago by Beelzebub?
First, I'm not saying 1,000 years ago. I don't know. And a lot of these construction stories.
If you don't know, then stop making claims. Don't even reference that. He is claiming to know. DIRTh is claiming to know that it was there before. That it wasn't built 100 years ago. That it was built before that. You are claiming to know. You just wave that ignorance flag when you get, because you don't want to get in a corner about it.
They redo it. They take it and they refab it or refurb it.
No, just because you got a bunch of shacks around a beautiful temple, just like in India, people go like in Cairo. You've got these huge pyramids built 3,000 years ago, and next to it you got shanty towns. Humans can do amazing things, or they can build crap. The idea that, because there's a beautiful piece of architecture and other stuff with squalor means it's not real or it was built by somebody else. It's not true.
All we're saying here is just go watch the film.
No, I get it. There's no nuclear weapons. Right. We never built anything.
Look into it instead of just claiming that there are nuclear weapons when you don't have any proof.
It's on the record.
Right?
You know what's also on the record? That you got people to go bug Sandy Hook parents.
Oh, no. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about that. Hold on a second. I want to see. I'm going to look at the transcript here. See if this where this goes, because I haven't been this far into it. So 39. Okay. Bunch of shacks. There it is. Nuclear weapons. Eddie Bravo talking. Oh, lovely. Okay. All right, good. We don't go off into that. So
that's on the record.
It's not true.
It's on the record, though. It's on the record.
It's on the record, Alex.
You know what's on the record is you owe $1 trillion to the family. That's on the record.
On the record, I got $1 trillion. No,
that's on the record.
That's what I said
What
earlier.
about that? Hey, listen. Let me finish this. Let me finish with this, and then we'll talk about Trump, Adam Schiff. I don't give a fuck. Let me finish with this. You know that YouTube puts labels on all truth videos, right?
Yeah, they do.
They'll put truth on every flat Earth video. Why would they?
What a lame, what a horrible line of reasoning that he's going through here, right? They use this when their videos that they like, some of their videos that they like get the disclaimer, the Wikipedia article. They're like, everything that's got that is true. That's what they're saying. My videos get it. Does that make my videos true? Eddie, listen.
They do that. Why would they put any flat Earth? And then if you punch in, there's a video called The History of Flat Earth by Eric Dubay. If you punch that in on YouTube right now, it won't take you to that. It'll take you to 100 videos that they produce to turn you away, turn you off from flat Earth. You could punch it in word for word. The History of Flat Earth by Eric Dubay. It won't come up. They'll give you 100 videos of videos.
Let me tell you something. I tried to search.
Why would they do that?
I tried to search Trump Russia to see what they were going to say today on Google, and it wouldn't let me search it.
That's what I'm saying. Why would they do that?
Alex,
why would they do that?
If I looked up for like underwater basket weaving a year ago, I could go to my history and find it. If you watch a whole bunch of flat Earth videos, like some of my videos and other good videos, then you go to your history, it's not there, and it's replaced with propaganda.
Doesn't that make you
that's not true. He just lied. But let's do this. Let's have a look. I'm not logged in. I'm going to search for the History of Flat Earth, Eric Dubay. Hey, look at that. Look what the top hit is. What's the top hit there? Eddie Bravo. It's Eric Dubay. There you go. Now it gets this other stuff that's definitely better. Like this one. Great video at the top there. Oh, this is a good one here. This is a really good. I love this video. Definitely go watch that one. There's another one. The 10 things that all flat earthers say. Yep. There you go. Now, what I don't like about this is, why isn't mine there? I want my videos here. Come on, YouTube, put mine here. You don't need, you've got enough. Look, Professor Dave, he doesn't need more. He doesn't need more. Put mine on there. There. I mean, these are good things. More Dubay. So anyway, so he's wrong. No surprise.
A little suspicious.
It's
Based on all the shit you went through, you fucking went through all the shit. You should be questioning fucking everything. You should throw everything out.
We have a delay. We're on 300 radio stations. You got to only cuss occasionally.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Listen, Eddie.
You know I love you,
I'm
dog.
just
Right here
saying-
it says, look, right here it says Sandy Hook families offer to settle Alex. Hysterical. And you believe NASA?
No, because I don't believe the system doesn't mean I then believe anything else someone makes up.
I get it, Alex. You know I love you.
belief
We can
is
talk
the-
about Trump.
being a
Hey, you know what?
skeptic-
Let's talk about
belief is the enemy of knowing, right? It's the lazy man's knowing. You can just believe anything. If you want to know it,
Oh, Dave believes all of these things, but he doesn't have evidence for them. He doesn't have knowledge of it, right? Who is it? Who is it, Dave, that is behind all of this? Who is it that first introduced the idea you think doesn't exist, right? You think that somebody must be behind it. Who was it that told Pythagoras in 495 BC to introduce the idea? Who? Or do you just blindly believe it? What knowledge do you have that the sun does not set, or that the sun does set in Antarctica? None. You just believe it. Just blind faith. Why do you think that the firmament exists? You don't. You just have blind faith. All of these things that he just said are opposite world, right? DIRTh lives in opposite world. Gowden's Rapers, who's Eddie Bravo? Eddie Bravo is a conspiracy nutter. He is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter, so he's done some some UFC fighting, and he was pretty good at that. But he's past his prime for doing that in age, right? There's only a certain window of doing that. And then he then somehow got connected to Joe Rogan. Well, Joe Rogan is big in the UFC world. So Eddie's been on Joe Rogan's podcast many times. So Eddie and Joe are friends. So anyway, that's who this Eddie guy is.
takes time, and they're not going to feed you any real information. You could spend 500 hours looking for stuff. You're going to find nothing. Go to my website, flatearthdave.com.
Yep. There you go. There's the grift again. Thank you for the grift. Proving the song right.
Now here, let's talk about, we'll plug it any times. Let's talk about reality. All I know is I take supplements, I take nutrients, I take products, and I don't have the.
All right. He's going into an ad. So he interrupted Dave's ad to do his own ad, which I'm fine with that. Right. I don't know. I have no idea if these are any good or not. I don't know. But I do know this, that if it's just any generic vitamin, it's better than Dave's app. Right? Get the cheapest vitamins at Walmart. It's better than Dave's app.
Musk did when the
Did you say so, Eddie? Oh my God, he got me. Oh my God, he got
Alex,
me.
I was telling you about how Starlink and satellite phones work. They're using actual airplanes. What's the first thing Elon Musk did when the war started? He said, I'm turning off Starlink for all of Ukraine. You know why? No fly zone, no airplanes.
There's a blind faith belief.
So you're saying airplane companies do secret deals?
No, airplane companies, they might just at the top know. Like the people at the top.
They don't even know they're using the plane as a
No, they
platform.
know.
How could you do the logistics if only the people at the top know? None of this makes sense. Is right? But definitely, Dave Weiss fully understands that what he's saying is completely ridiculous and impossible. But he's not stupid for saying it. He's lying for saying it. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that DIRTh is stupid. I'm saying that DIRTh is lying. He completely understands this topic, fully versed in it, and still says the wrong thing because he's lying about it, not because he's stupid.
Listen, I have Wi-Fi. I uploaded 3 videos on my flight too. I created them, uploaded them. I was using the internet. It all works. A cell signal comes to the airplane. It gets transferred.
This has an antenna on it.
Yeah, and so
How does he know this? He doesn't.
this is not a theory. Airplanes, major airlines, Every airplane has the equipment for a
So
cell
what
tower.
are all those rockets that SpaceX blasting off?
Have you ever watched one of them carefully? They're movie production. They're horrible.
No, I've gone down and seen it. Big rocket takes off.
Yeah, there is a rocket takes off, and guess what they're filled with? Helium.
What a douchebag. What an absolute piece of trash. Let's enjoy this.
Yo, listen up, it's your boy DIRTh in the his house. Got a plan so slick, gonna make your pockets dizz house. I got an app that's gonna change your life. But before you download, let me slice through the strife. They say the earth's a globe, but I beg to differ. I'll make you believe, I'll make you shiver. Spectroscopy needs a container, that's my claim. I've got no clue, I just hang my head in shame. Yo, listen up, it's your boy DIRTh in the his house.
That's a whose house?
Got a plan so slick, gonna make your pockets dizz house. I got an app that's gonna change your life. But before you download, let me slice through the strife. They say the earth's a globe, but I beg to differ. I'll make you believe, I'll make you shiver. Spectroscopy needs a container, that's my claim. I've got no clue, I just hang my head in shame. But turn up, that's the line I'm preaching. Sell my app, it's what I'm seeking. Fake challenge, try your luck. While I'm laughing, pocketing a buck. I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
Flat earth, that's the lie I'm preaching. Sell my app, it's what I'm seeking. Fake challenge, try your luck. While I'm laughing, pocketing a buck. I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
Yo, Dave Weiss is a scammer. Talk about Antarctica, the icy place. Offered a free trip, dangled it in my face, but I won't go. It's not about thrift. I'm staying home, gotta protect my grift. I'm a scammer. I'm a scammer. Yo, Dave Weiss is a scammer. Talk about Antarctica, that icy place. Offered a free trip, dangled it in my face, but I won't go, it's not about thrift. I'm staying home, gotta protect my grift. I'm a scammer, Antarctica, that icy place. Offered a free trip, dangled it in my face, but I won't go, it's not about thrift. I'm staying home, gotta protect my grift. I'm a scammer, the scammer, I play the game. Gonna hustle hard, gonna rise to fame. But remember one thing, it's all a ploy. To make that green, I'll be your decoy. So if you wanna join, come take my hand. But beware the tricks, it's all planned. DIRTH, that's my name. In the world of scams, I got the fame.
I'm a scammer. Dave's a moron. I'm a scammer. I'm a scammer. And I'm a scammer. I'm a scammer. Then I'm lying. Dave's a scammer. He's just selling his app. Dave's a scammer. He's trying to steal $3 from you for his app. Dave Weiss is a scammer. Dave Weiss is a scammer. I'm a scammer. Dave Weiss is a scammer. He's just trying to sell his app. Dave's a scammer. Dave Weiss the scammer. I'm a scammer. My app doesn't work. I'm a scammer. I'm a scammer. I'm just trying to sell apps. I know the earth isn't flat. Dave's a moron. Dave's an app scammer. Dave just wants your money. Dave's a scammer. I'm a scammer. Dave's a scammer. He's selling a useless app. I'm a scammer. Dave's a scammer. He's just selling apps. He doesn't believe the earth is flat. I'm the scammer trying to sell an app. That's all I'm trying to do. So I'm giving you all this bullshit. I'm a scammer. I'm a scammer. And I'm a scammer.
There you go. Because Dave Weiss is a scammer. Yep. Stop scamming, Dave. If you don't like it, stop scamming. There you go. All right. Well, we're at 44 minutes of 52.
Oh, wow. The rocket's not even a rocket.
Not even.
It's a balloon.
It's a balloon. Yeah.
Guys, show SpaceX rockets landing on the
upright. They land upright. You believe that a space?
I've seen it.
So a SpaceX rocket goes up into space, up through.
One of the coolest things happened about 5 years ago. I was on a helicopter with a buddy flying to Dallas, and they used to have SpaceX out at Fort Hood. I watched one blast off.
You do watch things blast off.
Was that HD?
What
though?
do you see? No, you see it. It curves up, it goes out, and it crashes into the Bermuda Triangle. They all go out. Watch the rocket pass.
That's where they go, Bermuda Triangle.
They go. That's the area where they shoot them in.
Hey, he's just lying about it again, right? Does he have evidence for it? No, of course not. So what did he say? Belief is the enemy of knowing. He doesn't have knowledge of this. He has belief of this.
Santa Claus there?
I don't. That's a straw man. That's a ridiculous comment, Alex.
No. How do we know Santa Claus isn't real? Everything we've been. Maybe Santa Claus built all these buildings.
Oh, there you go. That's it. You know what, Eddie?
Maybe Santa Claus built this studio. We never built anything. Maybe Santa Claus built the studio, Eddie.
Alex, that's.
Maybe he did, and maybe they just used all the toys and all the elves as distraction.
Man, I tell you, this is like, am I on acid right now?
Okay.
You gonna choke me out on air?
Circumnavigation.
You know who already choked me out was
Craig Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Want me
real.
to choke you out right now?
No, I didn't.
I'll choke you the fuck
Alex,
out right
your
now.
producer asked earlier how
I
Magellan.
bet you want to.
No, I don't. Hey, dude, I don't give a fuck if you believe in flat earth or not.
stop
I'm just here to have fun.
I'm just teasing,
I
Eddie.
don't care if anybody believes in shit, because one thing, eventually you will figure it out one day. I mean, everybody does eventually. No one ever goes flat and goes back.
Oh, well, there's Ranty. There's Rachy 5 Zeros. There's Jose JG Gonzalez. There's Clear Cognition. There's a Seek Truth, Speak Truth. There are some, but the fact that there are a small number that go back isn't evidence for or against Flat Earth. It's evidence that the people that got into Flat Earth didn't get into Flat Earth by being rational and logical, because it's only the rational and logical ones that got out of Flat Earth. So, yeah. So, they do like to say that as if it's something. It's not. One God is nowhere. Hold on, let me read this. One God is nowhere, says Austin Whitsitt chimed in on the Jaronism channel tonight saying, drop McKeegan from the final experiment and he and Jaron will go to Antarctica if Will Duffy represents the globe side. Why does Austin think that he gets to decide how to do these things? Right? If he's too scared to go, if Dave McKeegan is there, right, then it's a grift. Yeah, Austin just putting up roadblocks, right? It's a grift. It's got to be a grift, right? He's scared to go if somebody in particular goes. Why would that change something? How would that change your investigation into the truth, you truth seeker, Austin Whitsitt? How would that change it? It wouldn't. It wouldn't. Whether or not it's Austin and Jaron that would be doing the experiments. They're the only ones that they would trust to do those experiments. Everybody else that's there doesn't matter. Why does any one particular person matter? It's just one more excuse, right? It's another roadblock. It's another goalpost change, right? It's another, oh crap, the grift is done. Because Austin's in trouble. Austin, Jaron, DIRTh, Dubé, Oakley, right? That these guys and maybe a few more, that's their rice bowl, right? That's how they pay the bills every month. So it's challenge. It's a challenge for them, because if Flat Earth goes away, then they're in trouble. If they go there and see it themselves. They can't from afar. Oh, I didn't see it. No, I'm not buying it. Right? They can't do that. If they were on the ground and they looked up and they said, look at the sun's there. 12 hours later, the sun's there. They can't come back and say, well, it was something else. Like, well, why didn't you test that? Oh, I don't know. Right? They don't want to. And if that happens, then what's Witsit going to do tomorrow if he doesn't have Flat Earth? Where's the money going to come from if Flat Earth is gone for Witsit? I'll tell you, for me, I'm employed, right? I'll have a different hobby, right? Maybe I'll say that's good. I'll close down my YouTube channel, or maybe I'll say the 5G nutters, the moon landing deniers, the chemtrail nonsense, the whatever. There's plenty of it's a target rich environment for people that don't buy into that nonsense. But Witsit, he's hung his hat on that. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do December 18 when somebody goes, right, and comes back and says, well, yep, we saw it. We saw the sun do this. We saw it with our own eyes. We got video of it. Here you go. Here's the video. We got pictures of it. We got other people there that were with us that saw it. What are you going to do then, Witsit? Right? Yeah. You're in trouble then, right? But here's the other thing. Some of the other people on the list, like Sean, whatever, Kingdom in Context guy, this isn't his main thing. So he'll just keep on doing what he does. What about who else? Who else? Was Dave Murphy in the list? Dave Murphy is plenty busy with all of his other, piss drinking stuff. So it's how many flat earthers are going? Well, 24 of them were invited to go, and one of them was offered a ticket to get paid for, and the others are invited to go and pay their own way. With nothing wrong with paying your own way to go test your own beliefs, right? And so Dave McKeegan was selected as the Glober to go, or the normal person to go. So, and 2 Globers have announced that they are doing fundraising to go, crowdsourcing. And exactly 0 Flat Earthers have said they want to go and done fundraising or accepted the free trip. So, yeah. Anyway, all right. Where I want to look at this. Okay. All right. I think looking at the transcript, I think it's okay.
You don't go flat and go back.
You don't go black and go back.
You don't go. No, there's never been anybody. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird that it's still a debate?
Isn't it weird that he just blatantly lied? Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird that somebody that thinks that he's a truther and wants other people to think that he's a truther just blatantly lied? Ranty, Rachy 5 zeros, Seek Truth, Speaks Truth, Jose J.G. Gonzalez, Clear Cognition, all exited out of Flat Earth. Why did you, I get that you're ignorant in this one, Eddie. Why would you make such a bold proclamation when you're ignorant? Right? I guess when you're ignorant, you don't know you're ignorant, right?
Yeah, once you have a schizophrenic break.
Isn't it weird that it's still a debate?
All right, get back to your circumvention.
It's not a debate. The sun can't set. You want to prove me wrong? Tell me what time the sun will set tomorrow for any location using flat Earth geometry. You can't.
But Yellen didn't do anything. He was a liar. So I get it. You're saying it's not round. It's a bowl. It's going in circles.
Alex, I brought you a book, and on this book is a map right here. The center of the flat Earth is there's a big rock mountain. They call it Black Rock. Interesting name, right? It's the center, and it's a
blind faith belief, absolute blind faith belief. Remember earlier when he said knowledge is what did he say? Belief is the enemy of knowledge. He doesn't have knowledge of this. He only has belief of this.
A magnet. So everyone could do this experiment at home. Get a strong magnet, put it on a table, draw a big circle around it. There's the Earth pond. The shoreline, the edge of that is Antarctica. Put a compass down and it's going to point towards that magnet, right? The compass will point towards the magnet.
It always points to the
It always
center.
points to the magnet. So if I want to go west, west is not a straight line. West is a circle around that magnet, and you can come right back to where you started from. East is a circle. Doesn't prove the Earth is flat because it's the same on a globe Earth.
No, it's not. In reality, which is where we live, not where DIRTh lives, the South Magnetic Pole is not it's not the South Geographic Pole. The South Magnetic Pole is in the ocean south of Australia. So it doesn't, his idea of you take your pizza pot pan and you put a magnet underneath it or on it, right? And then you take your compass and you put it on it and you go around in circles. It doesn't work like that because you've got the North Magnetic Pole here, and in reality, wherever Australia is on their flat Earth dirt pizza map, where Australia looks like a hot dog instead of a hamburger, right? It's south of there. That's where the South Magnetic Pole is. So it's not this way is south on flat Earth. That way is magnetic south. The compass doesn't point the correct direction on flat Earth because the South Magnetic Pole is over there. So when you're over here, it'd be all different. But no, that's not what happens. Magnetic declination doesn't match flat Earth. It can't work. So, all right, somebody got their comment deleted. What was that about? Baba Ali. Let's see if it's good. Emerson Biggins. All right, I'm going to check here. Oh, it's scrolling. It's scrolling on a different view, not this one here. I have one right here that, all right, here we go. All right. Okay. Well, let's see. Oh, I get it. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to say that. It's definitely middle school humor. I can't, I kind of get that. All right, you know what? I'm behind on a couple of these. Jay Watkins said, "Did you play our little project?" Much love. I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. You'll have to remind me. Sloth X9 is a member at Einstein. Thank you for that. Icy Spin says, "I'm not so sure Effie will die. Is it just me?" Well, you know what it will do? It will provide a source of multiple pieces of data showing that the sun does what the globe predicts in Antarctica. So all of these flat earthers that have made the claim, that have boldly made proclamations about what the sun does in Antarctica, several things will happen. Number one, it will show that they are willing to lie, right? That they didn't have any evidence that the sun set in Antarctica. They had zero evidence for it, yet they all said it. Not all of them, but the ones that did set it have said it, right? So with zero evidence for it. So they are willing to just make up stuff and lie about it. They know that it's a lie because they know that they don't have evidence for it. So when you say something that you know isn't the case, you're lying. So they will have that lie. Then we'll have, if flat earthers go, then we'll have people looking at a flat earther while the sun is up at, different hours of the day and say, "Hey, what do you see?" "I see the sun up." So you'll have that. And then the other parts of the experiment. So the part that Will has been asking for is people to provide him ideas for improving the experiment. And so I said, bring a solar filter and point it at the sun and look at the sunspots of the sun, and maybe even a hydrogen alpha filter would be even a better improvement. And look at the sunspots in Antarctica and somewhere else the same time. Maybe Minnesota. I've got a P1000. I've got a solar filter right here. And see, do we see the same sunspots? If we do see the same sunspots, well, then that doesn't suggest that it's some sort of a hologram or a replacement or a second sun. And if it's not mirrored, then it's not a reflection. So that eliminates a whole bunch of things right there. So, New Moon said, I've had a conversation with Nathan regarding TFE in FED. I saw a little bit of that. Yeah, he is scrambling. He's scrambling, right? He's like, it's not an experiment with the IVTV. That's not. He's like a child. That's not how people measure whether or not something is an experiment. An experiment is a hypothesis test. That's it. At its heart, that's what it is. There's no rigid dogma about how you go about doing that. Did you test a hypothesis? Yeah. Well, then you did an experiment. Super. Does there have to be an IVDV? Did you test a hypothesis? Yes. Okay, then you did an experiment. Awesome. Right? Did you observe a naturally occurring whatever? I don't know. Did you test a hypothesis? Well, yeah. Well, then you did an experiment. That's it. It's there's no dogma about it. But Nathan Oakley knows that actual science contradicts flat Earth, so he has to find ways to exclude anything he wants to exclude. That's all he's doing. So, PhD Tony says, "Hey, I suggested those things on WhatsApp. Stop stealing my spectroscopy." Yeah, it wasn't me that. I'll clear that up. It wasn't me that was the first to come up with those, and I don't know who it was. Maybe it was you, Tony. That was the first place that I saw it. Maybe it was somewhere else. But looking around, talking to different people, and thinking about it, I'm like, okay, well, here's a couple different ways that we can improve that. And like people weren't quite understanding when it first came out that, hey, the way that Will is asking for people to participate is go. Interview him or propose something to do with the experiment to make it better. So I'm like, well, okay, I can do that. I did that right away. Right. So, anyway, Shifty says ships over the horizon. I disagree with you. Disagree with me, Shifty, and that I know it. Hold on. I disagree with ships over the horizon. I disagree with MC Toon. And we still cool. I even get chocolate swirl ice cream from other flurfs that I'm cool with Mctoon. Yeah. Well, hey, I get along with several. It's fine. It's okay. We can get along. But I butt heads with some people, right? I do. There's just personalities. We clash instantly. I get along with Dan the Waterman part of the time. Like, we will get along super, super well, and then suddenly something will switch, and Dan will go crazy mad. It's you might even say that there's like two poles to the way that he is with me. Like two of them, like maybe bi and then polls about it. I don't know. I wouldn't think, but love you, Dan. Love you, Dan. My mom bakes cake says, I will delete my channel if there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica during summer. Yeah, hey, you need to clarify. You need to be very specific, right? Flat Earth predicts that the sun will not set. Let's be very clear about that. This is always the big thing. There is no plausible mechanism for the sun setting for flat Earth. There's no reason why it could set. There's no geometry to explain it. Optics say that it would be higher, not lower, so optics don't help. Refraction in the air. Perspective is just an application of geometry, right? And there's nothing. So the prediction for flat Earth in Antarctica is that the sun would do circles like this. That's the, right? If you're looking north in Antarctica, that's what you'd see, the sun doing this, right? Not that it would do that and then come up here and then, right? That's not the actual geometry-based prediction for flat Earth. So if you go to Antarctica and the sun doesn't set, and all that you come back with is sun not set, and not where it was, then somebody could get confused and think, oh, well, that supports it. It doesn't, right? It's that it is there, and 12 hours later it's there, and in the interim it did not set, right? It did this. That's the globe prediction. That's the impossibility on flat Earth. So I will say, like my mom bakes cakes, I predict that in Antarctica, they will see the sun doing circles around them. And if that is not what happens, if instead the sun does either the actual true geometry-based prediction for flat Earth, that the sun does this, the circles, right? Always up, but north, right? And of course, east and west, but doing circles, right? If it does that, or some variant of its setting, then I will delete my channel. I will declare that the Earth is flat, and I will delete my channel. I'm going to make a video specifically stating this. So, Icy Spin says, I will commit to apologizing to every flurf I know. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. We just got a little left here. Let's muscle through.
If you were a mile from the North Pole on a globe and you wanted to go west, you'd have to walk 6.28 miles and come right back.
So why, when I look at Jupiter in a telescope and I see it?
You asked me about circumnavigation. Leave Jupiter alone, right? But here's the thing. East and west, billions of people have circumnavigated east and west. 0 people have gone south. No one's gone from Santiago and popped up in Australia.
Well, there is.
And there he lied again. So let's see. You know, Dave and all flat earthers could benefit from actually doing their own research. So there you go. Here's some polar circumnavigation. So he says 0 people have done it yet. People have. So there we're seeing the route that Rockwell polar flight in 1965. There you go. Pan Am 50 from 1977. Look at that. Oh, amazing. It happened. Now we got Sir Ranulph Fiennes and Charles R. Burton, 1979. There you go. Transpolar 8 in 2009. Look at that. How did that happen? DIRTh lied again. Man. One More Orbit 2019. I mean, he knows about this. What do they think? They just say, all they do is they just say it's fake. That's it. That's all I have. So, all right. Stop lying, Dave. Stop lying. I mean, if he didn't lie, where would his app sales would plummet.
There's a lot of weirdness going on in Antarctica.
Okay.
I'm not going to deny it.
But the
Maybe they're hiding what's there.
Absolutely. There's a lot of whistleblowers that say that there's millions of people living in cities beyond the shoreline of Antarctica.
There's 0 whistleblowers that say that. Jeez.
What color are they?
I don't know. I wasn't
They're
there.
Chinese.
I wasn't there.
They're Chinese.
Really?
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
So
They're mixed. They're mixed race.
Alex,
Half black, half white.
isn't it weird that no one has circumnavigated south? Isn't it weird
that you just blatantly lie about it, DIRTh? Why lie? I know. Money. That's why you lie, Dave. Money.
They fake the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Isn't it weird that there's camcorder, there's webcams in Antarctica where that you can watch the shadows go around, it's going, and then all of a sudden, it skips 8 hours. Every day it skips 8 hours in their summer when there should be a 24-hour sun. But in the winter, they give us the full 24 hours. And when we contact them and say, why are you cutting out 8 hours? They go, we don't have enough bandwidth.
So what happened to Magellan then?
He just went around. What about Earhart, Amelia Earhart? She literally went around the world. If you walked around Austin, does that make Austin a sphere?
Damn. Got you.
Isn't it weird that Dave denies the existence of this video here? Isn't it weird? 5-day time lapse. Isn't it weird that Flat Earth Dave pretends that this video doesn't exist? Right? He wants a video. If you say you want a video and you get a video, then what should you do? You should say, oh, thank you for the video. I guess it does exist. That's what you should do. But no, that's not what Flat Earth Dave does. Look at those shadows. Look at those shadows. This is what he says he wants. But he never brings up that it exists. Why is that? Why is that? This is 7 years ago from Robert Schwartz. This is at the South Pole, and you can look at the features there. It matches the South Pole. This does not match the North. It goes the opposite direction as the North. So it's 5 whole days. 5 whole days. So, oh, there's a little bit of clouds, but look, oh, there's no clouds now. Look at that. Nothing blocking the sun. What kind of desperate? I know what kind of desperate. Gotta get money. Money, Dave. It's all about the money, Dave. That's why you do it, Dave. We know why. We're on to you. We see why.
How about the endless documents from NASA and the military?
Oh my gosh.
When they're not even talking about flat Earth or round Earth, they're talking about calculating the motion of missiles and high altitude aircraft. When calculating, because it's got the trajectory.
You know what he's never done? He's never read any of them. He's making up stories about the contents of these documents that he's not read. Think about that. Think about how do you get to where you will just invent information without having actually read it? He didn't read these things. He can't comprehend these topics. He's talking about the trajectories of missiles. None of the trajectories of missiles were in these 44 documents. And I have them all on my website. I've read them all. And you know who came up with it? Oh, look at that. Dean Odell, unrepentant liar. This Dean Odell was the one that came up with it. So here it is. I'll give everybody in the live chat. Here you go. You can go look at it there. It gives links to some of these. The links have links die, right? Links change. So I have copies of them all. If there's any missing, but which one has a missile? None of this is missiles. There you go. Oh, here we go. Calculation of wind compensation for launching of unguided rockets. There it is. I don't know if that counts as a missile. Does it? Anyway, a trajectory simulation incorporating the above requirements is presented in reference 8. In addition to the above requirements, the simulation assumes a vehicle with 6 degrees of freedom and aerodynamic symmetry in rolls, and the missile position in space computed relative to a flat, non-rotating Earth. This trajectory simulation programmed on this electronic dating processing machine, the basis for all trajectory computation made in this paper. Only in that paper. In the paper, the rocket is assumed to turn instantaneously into the wind, so the vehicle's axis is always tangent to the trajectory. How does that happen? So anyway, you can have a look at that. There you go. These tend to also mention gravity. Page 3 mentions gravity. So what are you going to do? It mentions gravity. You can't have gravity. You're going to accept it or not accept it?
trajectory and the speed. It's got to be perfect. The number one rule, document after document after document. The number one rule, if you want the precise calculations of the motion of missiles and high altitude aircraft, you have to assume we're on a flat, non-rotating Earth. You have to assume that the crazy conspiracy.
Well, let's also look at the other things that you have to look at. You have to assume that the aircraft is rigid. I like this one here. And you also have to assume that there's no wind, that the air is stationary. Is that the case? Is that the case? Think about this. Eddie Bravo, not an engineer, hasn't read these things, saying what he thinks are in these things, but they're not.
Conspiracy theory that we're on some flat Earth is real to get the right numbers. Document after document after document after document. You want to figure out the motion and calculate the motion of missiles. You got to assume the opposite. Not.
You have to assume gravity too, of course.
What's the opposite of ball? Flat. What's the opposite of
No, there's no opposite to ball.
rotating, non-rotating, to get the right numbers. And you know, the ball believers, you know what they say? Oh, that's just to simplify the numbers.
It is. And Eddie, a non-engineer, is about to tell actual engineers how they do their work.
To simplify, you have to simplify the numbers. You have to believe in flat.
But if you take the zip code, was really artillery directives before, they lay it out as a grid according to the plan of the Earth. That doesn't even bring in the fact that it's turning, because they're mapping the surface.
In order to get the correct numbers.
No, if I put GPS in to go to Dallas, you've been talking. Let me talk. If I can put in GPS, go to Dallas, it's on the trajectory.
It's a straight line. It's a straight line. There's ships that can put a pinpoint laser beam on another ship 100 miles away.
Oh, there he's lying again, because they can't.
And then shoot a missile at it and hit it. Pinpoint 100 miles away. There should be a mountain of water 6,600 feet high between them.
But no ship can put a laser on another ship from that distance. Something else can find that other ship, but not the one ship. So again, this is you know, one person finds something. One flat earther finds something and they're like, "Ooh, I found something." And right, so then they get their 15 minutes of flat earth fame by identifying something that everybody else believes. None of them look into it enough to have an understanding of it. They're talking about, you know, military guidance systems and things like that, where different airplanes and ships communicate with each other. So you have an airplane that's above the battlefield, and you have a ship down on the surface somewhere else, and the airplane can see another ship that you want to target because it's at a high elevation, but the battleship can't. But they can communicate to each other between the airplane and the battleship and say, okay, well, I can see it. I know where to go. You launch the missile, and then here's the firing solution. So that's what they do. But the flat earthers are like, oh, they can paint a target, and it's 100 miles away from where the rocket is launched. Ignore everything else. They just say, oh, then it works. That's not how it works. They don't actually do the research ever. And then once the non-research has happened and it's entered into the flat earth lexicon, then it just gets parroted. People just parrot it. So Eddie just parroted this, having zero knowledge of the topic at all.
Blocking that ship.
But you can still
they see it. And there's submarines on the bottom of the ocean.
None of these radar do that.
The radar
don't go through
radar
water.
don't go through water. And sonar.
They take
over the
pictures.
Submarines on the bottom.
No, they bounce it off the atmosphere.
Submarines on.
All right, so Alex is flapping here.
On the bottom of the ocean can see another submarine over 100 miles away.
I knew what happened.
There should be a mountain
don't worry,
over
folks.
a mile high.
All right, guys. Very entertaining. Owen Schroyer takes over right now.
Check it out. Don't believe anything we say. Verify it yourself.
Yes, and
Yeah, don't believe anything he says, except go to his website and believe everything he says.
the Texas Capitol's fake.
All right. that's the end of it. There's some marketing that they have in there. So selling his vitamins again. So PhD Tony says the fact that the duration of sunlight for the southern hemisphere summer increases as you move south disproves flat Earth. Of course, according to flat Earth sites, closer to the sun should always have longer days. Yeah, absolutely. Is Alex drunk? I think he might always be drunk. I don't know. Mandevil says, yes, the ship's call sign is B and the plane's call sign is 5. So they confirm B5, you sunk my battleship. That's funny. Anyway, so I will, thank you for that, for joining me. I will be releasing that video on, soon, as is, and I'll play it for the outro here. Yeah, so be looking for that. I really enjoy that video. So I have definitely, I don't know. It was a little weird coming out, finding out that Alex is agreeing with me on a couple things that I thought that he probably would not. Very strange. But, does he drink his own? Anyway. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing this and doing the likes and all of that stuff. I do have a video I have recorded. It's in the can. I have to do the editing on it. So be looking for that on my Conspiracy Tunes channel. If you're not subscribed to that one, it's in the description of this video. Round Thinker pointed out to me that I am almost at 21,000 subscribers on this channel. And I've been doing celebrations not at 5,000 and 10,000 increments. I've been doing celebrations at Fibonacci increments. So I'll be doing one at 21,000. So if you haven't subscribed, then go ahead and subscribe right here. So anyway, one more time, we'll be, feel free to sing along at home to Dave Weiss is a Scammer. Is it playing? It didn't play again. All right. I will, I need to prime the video for it to work. I don't know. So, all right, I'll do it again. I hope it's primed now. Okay, here we go.
Yo.
That's it.
Yo, listen up. It's your boy DIRTh in the his house. Plan so slick, gonna make your pockets his house. I got an app, it's gonna change your life. But before you download, let me slice through the strife. They say the earth's a globe, but I beg to differ. I'll make you believe, I'll make you shiver. Spectroscopy needs a container, that's my claim. I've got no clue, I just hang my head in shame. Yo, listen up, it's your boy DIRTh in his house. That's the horse house. Got a plan so slick, gonna make your pockets his house. I got an app, it's gonna change your life. But before you download, let me slice through the strife. They say the earth's a globe, but I beg to differ. I'll make you believe, I'll make you shiver. Spectroscopy needs a container, that's my claim. I've got no clue, I just hang my head in shame. But turn up, that's the light I'm preaching. Sell my app, it's what I'm seeking. Fake challenge, try your luck. While I'm laughing, pocketing a buck. I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
Flat Earth, that's the lie I'm preaching. Sell my app, it's what I'm seeking. Fake challenge, try your luck. While I'm laughing,
Pocketing a buck.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
I'm a scammer.
Yo, Dave Weiss is a scammer. Talk about Antarctica, the icy place. Offered a free trip, dangled it in my face, but I won't go. It's not about thrift. I'm staying home, gotta protect my
the grift.
I'm a scammer. I'm a scammer. Yo, Dave Weiss is a scammer. Talk about Antarctica. Antarctica, that icy place. Offered a free trip, dangled it in my face. But I won't go, it's not about thrift. I'm staying home, gotta protect my
the
grip.
grift.
I'm a scammer, Antarctica, that icy place. Offered a free trip, dangled it in my face. But I won't go, it's not about thrift. I'm staying home, gotta protect my grip. I'm a scammer, the scammer, I play the game. Gonna hustle hard, gonna rise to fame. But remember one thing, it's all a ploy. To make that green, I'll be your decoy. So if you wanna join, come take my hand. But beware the tricks, it's all planned. DIRTH, that's my name. In the world of scams, I got the fame.
I'm a scammer.